We're good. There we are. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of the WDWpov live stream show. I am Jeff.
I'm Marcus, and I won't be here very long tonight.
Yes, this is a special episode tonight. So Marcus will be here for a little bit of our opening. And then he's going to be heading out. Now I'm trying to figure something out here. I thought I shared it to our group, the WDWpov group, and for some reason, I am not seeing it there. So this is interesting. I may need to reshare it. Give me one moment here. But I think I shared it out to all kind of other stuff. Hi, Sandy says hi.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Hi, Sandy. Sandy's out there.
I'm the one seeing all the comments.
That's right. He's Mr. Comment Man right now.
For now.
Now the interesting thing is I'm gonna reshare this to the POV group because for some reason it looks like it disappeared. So we're gonna just yeah, it is. It's very weird. So give me 1 second here. This is just how things go sometimes. So I'm gonna hit share, more options, share it to a group. So if it's shared there twice, no big deal, right? You can just watch the man behind the curtain doing some stuff here.
But less fun.
There we go. Now we will reshare it. Hope that it stays there. Had me worried though, because I'm like, okay, I know it was there. I know I posted it there. Yeah, there it is now. Did you? No, that's on the page. Okay, so it's on the page. We hope it's in the group. We're gonna hope it's in the group. I'll check to see if it's in the group. But anyway, welcome to our show. Do you believe? Hey, Katie, how's it going? Holly's out there. Chris is out there. Mary's out there. Looks like we're gonna have a pretty good crowd out there tonight. Interesting thing. Okay, now which one is this? We got windows all over the place. I got window here, window here, window here. Just want to make sure that the window I'm looking at is the one I'm thinking of. But here's the interesting thing, okay? Tonight's episode, I did a count last week, before last week's show. Tonight is episode 99. You know what that means? Next week will also be a special episode because it will be episode 100.
3 weeks in a row.
What's that, 3 weeks?
Almost 3 weeks in a row. What is it, 3 weeks?
What do you mean 3 weeks?
Wasn't there something last week? Or was that 2 weeks ago?
Last week was just sort of a regular show. 2 weeks ago was our 3-year live stream anniversary. Not to be confused with our 5-year WDWpov anniversary. So we started WDWpov in like February of 2016. We started the live stream show about 2 weeks ago. 3 years ago. 3 years and 2 weeks. So yeah, we had all kind of stuff. So we've got a lot of special shows coming up. So next week, make sure you come back because next week we will be doing some giveaways, okay? But for tonight's show, we're going to be doing what I have done for the last 3 years. This is going to be year number 4 of basically talking about the day I died, literally died, like gone, dead as a doornail. And I will tell you as much as I can about that day and the following days that occurred after it. And be ready. I should probably have some tissues in here. I don't, but maybe when my wife comes in, she'll be coming in about 5 minutes or so. This show is going to be draining for me. I'm just going to tell you right now. This show will drain me by the end of the show. We'll probably go at least an hour, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know, as long as you guys want. But anyway, thank you all for being out there, being part of our Disney family. We wouldn't be doing this if you guys weren't out there, and we just appreciate you coming back week after week.
I'd do it more consistently if it paid money, but
okay, the kid here. So who do we have out there? See, Steve's out there, Jay's out there, Mary's out there, Holly's out there, Katie's out there, Sandy's out there. A few people over on the YouTube side watching us on the YouTube channel, WDWpov, and some people watching us from our Facebook page, some from the group probably now that I got it shared over there, and then other groups and things. So again, please, this is a very special episode. If you get a second, please share it with someone out there who needs an uplifting story, because that's what we're going to try and give you tonight. There's going to be some ups and downs and that emotionally as we talk about it, but overall, though, I'm hoping that we touch somebody's life out there. That's the main goal for us. So anyway, promised we would talk about some Disney stuff. So we're going to do that first. We'll go about 5, maybe 10 minutes. We'll talk about some quick Disney topics. Like Holly's out there. Now, Holly, if you want to throw a few comments out there, and if it weren't for the fact we were doing this show tonight, Holly, I was going to ask you if you would jump on the show for a while tonight. Holly was at Disneyland on Friday and I believe also on Saturday. So Disneyland finally reopened after over a year of being shut down from COVID. That's pretty cool. That's great news. This guy over here has never been to Disneyland. Unfortunately, we have not been there since he's been born. Our last time.
Why do you say it like that? Why do you say unfortunately?
Unfortunately, because it's cool. You got to do it. Like the Indiana Jones ride. I know you'd love that.
Why would I love it?
The bobsleds. The Matterhorn bobsleds. You'd love. There's some good stuff there, and just the fact that it's a little different. Some things, like Space Mountain is different.
But why do you say you got to do it?
You do. You just got to do it sometime in your life. So you just do. That's just the way it is.
That's not a need. That's a want.
Well, right. But I'm just saying you got to do it sometime. I'm just saying that. Okay. So great to hear Disneyland's open. I know, like I said, I know Holly's been there twice already, at least as far as I know, since Friday when it opened. So, and she posted a lot of pictures out there. It was great to see all the people having fun. Another quick thing today. Well, not today. I'm sorry. May 1st, MGM, not Hollywood's, not what it is today, but MGM ended up starting on May 1st, 32 years ago. So yeah, 32-year anniversary for MGM, and we were there fairly soon after. Yeah, see, Sandy says you'll love it. She knows.
But it's in California.
It is in California, so it's going to be a trip. We can do a cross-country trip.
But it's in California,
right? It's like its own little window there, its own little world, Disneyland.
But you still have to be in California.
Yeah, you'll live. It's okay. California will be okay.
How do you know?
Well, that's true. I haven't been there in 18 years. So
yeah. So what do you know?
Yeah, I know. What do I know? Maybe it'll. I don't know. But you'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's worth the trip. So yeah, MGM, 32 years ago, May 1st. Excellent. Also, coming back in June of this year, just a month away, The Disney college program is starting up again. I know a few people who were affected by that. They were like in the middle of their program and COVID hit, and I know there were a lot of people affected by it, but I know a couple offhand.
You're in here too soon.
Yeah, we're almost done. Two more things.
California still has air and water. Even that's debatable.
See, Steve knows.
Even that's debatable at times.
No, I think they've gotten rid of most of the smog and stuff. Usually the smog's like right in LA.
Douglas is downstairs by
Oh, okay. We'll be done in 2 seconds. Okay,
I know not who you speak
Then we're going to
of.
do a switch over here. Jack. Geez, who are you talking about? Okay, another quick thing. This one's very important. Very important. Palm Clementif. Is that how you say it? Clementif? Palm, P-O-M, Clementif. Does anyone know who that is by any
Is that
chance?
an A or an E?
That's an E.
I'd say Clemen.
Clementif. Anyway, Clementif.
Clemen.
Anyway, the person's name is Palm, P-O-M. Born.
No, you would never pronounce that type.
Born today, 1986.
Actually, maybe you would.
Does anybody have even an inkling who that is?
Palm.
Wally.
No. I'll give you a hint, though. It is.
Did he keep that name through his entire life?
He was born in 1986.
Who said it's a he?
Palm.
Palm. Clementif.
With a
P-O-M. P-O-M. Clementif. Born on this day in 1986. Part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Born in Quebec City, Canada. Stan would appreciate that, although he's on the other side of Canada.
Is that the person who plays Captain?
No, not Captain anything.
Which captain were you about to say is the better question?
Captain Marvel, no.
No,
that's not.
that's Brie Larson.
Brie
And
Larson.
I don't care for anything she's in.
How about
You're not going to.
the lady that plays the love interest in the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Which one?
That likes Chris Pratt.
No, but you're
No.
close. You are very close. Who else played any kind of love interest in Guardians of the Galaxy with any of the main characters?
Oh, the one that liked the.
No, that was not love interest whatsoever.
No, she liked.
No, they liked each other.
No, they didn't.
Oh,
you guys even watch?
You're ugly. You're ugly.
Yes,
Did
they
you
were
guys-
in love with each other.
Yeah.
Did you guys even watch the movie?
Palm Clementif, born today, 1986, played the part of Mantis.
Say goodbye.
Mantis.
You guys
Okay.
don't know anything.
Anyway, Marcus is going to head out. My wife Patty's going to step into the seat here. I did have one more, but we can go over it while you're here.
No,
Okay.
we can't.
Oh yeah. No, this one's important because
It's a move.
you actually posted something about it. I actually had it written in my notes, and then you were going to post about it, and I was like, oh, what a coincidence! I actually had it written down in my notes.
Boy, I need a hair's cut.
I do too. I'm getting one tomorrow at noon, by the way.
You know what? I
Palm
need a hair
Clementif. Can you
trim,
believe
not
that? I
cut.
never knew.
This is a horrible chair.
It is a very bad
Okay,
chair.
well, first of all, you can do Gaston.
I'm going to have to.
What do we do about Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh. Winnie
Okay,
the Pooh.
So I have a
You got a
series.
little green on there with the green
Yeah, I
screen.
know.
There.
I have a series of 4. My mug.
That didn't show very well.
So- Hi, Katie. So I have a series of 4 mugs. There was a series of 4 mugs, and I wish they had the date in these. They do not. I bought these, I want to say 20 years ago. There's a yellow, a pink, a. Will you stop it? I'm sorry.
That's my green note card.
You know, I said that somebody was a S8008, and people didn't understand what I meant. When you do that on a calculator and turn it upside down.
What? What?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
This is a family show. Family show.
That's why I didn't say the word.
Not only a family show, but tonight is a special family show.
I know,
episode
but you could
because-
still. Okay, so anyway, I have 4 mugs. There's a pink one, a yellow one,
I think
this blue one, and purple. Like a
do
light
you have a
purple.
green one? I thought you
No,
had a green one.
no.
No? Okay. See, she likes poo mugs, just in case anyone knows.
No, and you know what? I don't like character-shaped mugs. If it's in the shape of a character, like
Mary wants to go to Disneyland.
I want to go to Disneyland.
It's been 18 years, more than 18 years.
So,
Man.
well, I can't think fast.
Yeah, it took me a while too, Sandy. I was like, put it upside down.
Well, okay. So anyway, I have had these sitting. First of all, they've been sitting in a cupboard up on the top shelf, so I can't even reach them. And then, so I haven't been using them. And I decided life's too short. Use the nice mugs.
Okay, so gang, here we go. Now, and you have control over this.
I have no control over anything.
You do.
No,
You're gonna have. Yes, you
Why
do.
is there a ring on here?
That's probably from. The glass
Okay.
marks.
Okay. So
I'm up.
Sandy said, "Oh, cute mug."
Yeah, she said that. I already put it up there.
Oh,
I already put it. You're way behind. So Katie said, "Let's." Let's.
oh, well, no, then I'll control it. Stop it.
Okay. Well, you told me you weren't.
Let's plan a trip to Disneyland sometime. All of us. Well, we were going to drive.
It's going to take a bit.
And so anyone, like, maybe we could rent a big bus, and everyone.
We could get T9. If T9 would jump on the show, she could come in with her RV and swoop across the country.
Well,
do a big cross-country road trip.
We should just drive to her house,
pick everybody
and then go
up
from there,
and then boom, we're at Disneyland.
How is your watch count this week? Oh,
Sandy, I was going to mention that to you actually. So Sandy out there has been on like I don't know what you would call it.
A YouTube binge. She's binging.
She's helping binge watch our WDWpov YouTube channel to get our watch time numbers ratcheted up. Our numbers were, I think, around 3,450 to 3,500 minutes.
I didn't come here to
I know,
listen
but she
to numbers.
asked. She asked. And then after you started watching, it is now bumped up to about 3,720 or so, something like that.
So if everyone doesn't sleep this week and just sits and watches YouTube, we'll be there.
So Sandy, you single-handedly, I think, have bumped us up about 200 to 220 minutes
way
or
too
so.
Dark.
So yeah, that's you.
My hair looks too dark. I need to dye it lighter. What color should I dye my hair? You know what? Here's the thing.
Yes, please, Sandy.
Wait.
You're doing I cannot thank you enough. You're doing an awesome job for us,
helping
to get our numbers up.
Stop.
I'm stopping.
No, don't.
She said okay.
Okay, so if we get to
people are leaving because we haven't started our story yet.
If we get to 5,000 subscribers, you can pick the color of my hair.
What?
Yeah. We're not at, how many are we at?
1,100-ish. Okay,
so see that if they share and we get there, they can pick
that's
the
going
color
to be
of my
a while. Okay, but
no, what if it's like
so Steve's saying 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. You get to pick what color she dyes her hair. Steve says, I'm 49. I've never been to Disneyland. We would like to go sometime because, Walt built the park.
Yes,
that would be cool. It is. It's not nearly as big as Disney World by any means, but it is sort of cool. Just
wait, stop it. You told me this is my job. You don't get the control.
No, I need it for this.
Well, then use it for that. See, the thing is, he can't give up control. Okay,
you told me
so I will help you as well and watch your videos on YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
And by the way, Katie.
Great, we'll continue.
Katie did a show.
She said you're welcome.
On her
nice color now. Sandy, this is my real color. I don't dye my hair.
It's a little dark because of the lighting, but
no, it's my real color. There's no dye in it.
But
you can see. You can see. Wait. Here.
You're okay. You don't
can
have.
See. No, you see.
No gray hairs. No gray hairs.
Not like you.
Yeah, look at. I've got the distinguished. I've got the distinguished, gray hairs there. Okay, so anyway, thank you, Sandy. Thank you so much for
everyone. Help them, please.
Boost our numbers.
Okay, so thank you, Sandy. Everyone needs to watch on YouTube and comment on Facebook to help the hours as well, or just watch everybody on YouTube.
That's right. Maybe someday I'll do like John Sakari and I'll just do the whole entire thing on YouTube like he does.
Sandy, no, I'm not going to diet, but I was just saying, like, I will diet if you guys want me to have purple hair for a week. I can do that, just.
Maybe we'll do that at 1,500, just, temporary dye. 1,500.
Oh, yeah, I could just do a wash in.
Okay, I don't know why we're talking about this, but um,
Thank you, Katie. She's sending the gift card. She is much
she's-
more prompt than we are.
Katie, and yeah, like I started to talk about, I think, okay, so Katie started doing she did like a trivia show on her Popping the Popcorn Facebook group. So if you get a chance to see that or join her group at some point, that'd be great. She had a whole different topic. She did 5 questions on like 80s movies, 90s movies, Star Wars movies, different categories. And it was a lot of fun. And I was kicking butt. I mean, I was on fire that night. I was just answering.
Oh, my goodness.
But I think part of it was because Mary was only there. No, this one, you can use this one.
No, but shush.
No, this one goes here. That one goes there.
That's horrible. Don't read that. Oh, that's so sad. It'll make you cry. Don't read it.
Why are you reading it? So if you need this, that's this mouse. If you need this, that's this mouse. We got mice all over the place, even the ones that we have to trap sometimes.
Well, we don't have those all over the place. We just have those outside, and then they try to come in.
Okay, so last major Disney topic I wanted to talk about is what you posted.
About the Disney Cruise Line.
Disney Cruise Line, 1994.
Which is... What is that? Like 26 years ago? 27 years ago.
They announced they were going to start the Disney Cruise Lines. No boats, nothing yet, but they made the announcement. And now 5. They've got the 4 ships right now that are in
and they have 5.
The 5th one is ready.
Yeah.
The Disney Wish, which they've been doing some
what are
reveals and stuff
Mary
on.
said, what are you saying about me?
I was just about to say when I got interrupted, if Mary had probably been on the show the entire time, she probably would have beat me.
Yep.
Yeah.
You would have.
Yeah. Because she's the master of trivia. So
okay. So
yes,
Katie said 20.
Years.
The reason I said did I say 26? Because
yes,
Melissa's 27 and she was born in 1993, but she was born in August. So yes, it's 27 years. Yeah. I wasn't figuring out the math. I was just using a shortcut. Gotcha. Okay, so here we go. First of all, I have some stuff to share. We're not going to let him share. You guys have all heard his story.
But I have my slides and everything. I thought you could fill in the blanks.
I'm going to fill in the blanks of things that
I doubted. Are you going to just completely sidetrack me?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Because my story is better than his. He just dropped dead. He laid there. He didn't do a thing.
But that's where I tell that part.
He didn't do a thing.
Tell that part, and then you fill in all that stuff.
Your story was boring. If you could remember what happened when you were dead.
Miki Kaka.
Yeah, well, remember all of it because
I remember Miki Kaka.
Because I think something happened while you were dead. So remember it all.
Okay, so can I do some of the slides and then you jump in?
I have. Oh.
What's that?
Sandy hasn't heard the story.
No, she hasn't. So that's why I wanted to.
Okay, Sandy, are you ready to cry? Get the tissues.
I did warn them. In fact, I said you should bring some for us.
The thing is, I tear up when I read what I've written about it.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Okay. So Katie said you did a great job, though. Just so you know.
We
need Marcus
Callum's
back to
out there.
order. Callum, there is no Marcus. If I'm here, it's not that there's not order because I'm here. It's just that.
The volume wasn't working on Facebook, Holly said.
Oh.
That's weird. I mean, we got a lot of people on Facebook watching.
Is the volume working on Facebook? Tell us yes or no.
Anyone else who's on Facebook, let us know if the volume's working. We had, during our church service yesterday, I actually had to run the StreamYard for our church service. It was sort of the normal person who does it was going to be unavailable. So I got to jump in and do it. And it was weird because we did have one person I think said that the volume seemed to go up and down a few times. But apparently they have had problems other times, so it was on their end.
This hair is driving me crazy.
So
there's too much of it.
So anyway, so Holly's on YouTube now instead of Facebook. That's good.
This is one. See, that's where the problems comes in. He gives somebody a job and then he has to do it.
Well, I can do it once in a while.
No, you don't get to do it at all.
So Mary said she can hear on Facebook. I do need this though. I do need this. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
I'm going to get up and leave.
And Katie says the sound's working too.
Okay. Yes, but hitting too close to home already, but believe. Okay.
I think she knows a little bit, I think, about the
Okay.
story.
So listen, you are a control freak.
Am I?
You stop. If I'm doing no, it's not funny. Tell
Okay,
him.
okay.
Okay, let's weigh in. If he asks someone to do the comments, should he do the comments or should he not do the comments? Let's see what you guys think. Jeff can't skip comments. He has to read everyone. Sometimes we are talking to each other and he has to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I try not to do that as
A,
much.
he's a control freak. B, things need to be orderly. So you have to go in the comments in order.
Okay, I need to do this.
Oh, look at
What?
Mary said Jeff is a control freak. She agrees. You did a slideshow? You did a slideshow.
I got all kinds of
You know
stuff for
what?
you tonight.
Here's the thing. If you want, Sandy said skip them. Skip them. Skip them. The
Skip what?
comments. Okay.
Oh yeah. We won't do all the
so
comments,
wait.
but we will try to read them at least enough so that if somebody asks a question, and I did say if anyone has a question about anything,
I like your slides. I didn't see this. This is new for me.
I did this 2 years ago for church. This is one I did 2 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, I changed a few, but it's mainly
it's the same background?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I was probably crying. I couldn't say a thing. I was crying. Either that or I was with Jack
Oh, man.
part of the time. So here's the thing. He has a professional presentation. Invite him to your church. Have your church pay to have him come and speak. It's inspiring. It's
Gaston. I had to get him in there.
Jeff's POV. He can touch the buttons. You need Mary thou. Okay. Even though I haven't met you in person, I know you both well.
Yes, Mary. I think we do.
Okay, so
And
Mary.
Steve, and I think we know Steve pretty well, and your daughter.
Mary wants to see the slides.
Okay.
And Sandy said you need Patty. Well, he knows
I
he
know
needs
I
me.
need her. I know I need her.
Okay.
Can't live without her. In fact, I probably wouldn't be alive without her. Yeah. Don't be so modest.
Don't
be so
know.
modest.
Will you?
No. I'm opening this up.
Don't know where I got Mary. Sorry. Oh. You need Mary though. Oh, she meant Patty. Late for me. Sorry. Okay. So
look at that. Look at that. It's almost like a professional thing I'm doing here.
almost. You
Almost.
probably need to remove the background and just put on, see, like this
What's
into
that?
the background.
Are you going to mess with my background? It's down farther. Keep going. Oh, you have to go to this. That's a green screen, actually.
Yeah, but can't you just do this? No.
No, it's not that kind of background.
Just
Don't
we'll
worry
start
about it.
talking.
Don't worry about it.
Start talking.
You're gonna upload a background while I'm trying to do this.
No, I don't know what I'm doing.
So anyway, so
See,
those of you,
is it okay? But I wish
That's
it was
fine.
just playing.
that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, go on.
But if you want a different here. watch.
Oh look, no, you
No.
talk.
That's not where you look. I'm trying. You want me to do this? See,
Mm-hmm.
she's trying to take control, and I'm trying to help her here because she's close that out. Go to camera and mic. Oh, you can't do it from here. I got to do it from
No,
here.
don't do it. It's fine with the leaves background.
No, this is what I was going to say. It would have to be a green screen change. We'd have to
Oh.
change it to one of these. Do you like any of these better?
Well, just a plain one. Here, you start talking because people
But
are
I
waiting.
need the mouse. That's a brick. That's a brick wall. You just put a brick wall behind this.
That's fine.
It's a brick wall. But it's,
No, but that's okay.
not. So you.
So we're in front of a brick wall. We're not at Disney.
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
pretend we're at Disney when you're talking about modern day miracles.
So you just stuck me in front of a brick wall. No. Oh my goodness. See, that's that background. You
There's less delay on YouTube.
good.
So Mary.
So my wife just stuck us on a black background with a brick wall. Do you guys like the brick wall, or do you want the Disney thing?
Fine. Open it. Sandy said.
Okay, Sandy and everybody else out there. So April 30th, 2015.
Give the abridged version, or we'll be here for 5 years.
I'm gonna go as quick as I
Okay.
can. So 6 years ago, roughly to this day, is when this happened. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little background first because I need to give you a little bit of a background. So you see this this picture here that I'm bringing up, if it'll come up for me.
Sandy, can you see the brick wall behind us? Behind our little
Behind our
faces?
heads.
Behind our heads.
Yeah, it's behind our
Okay,
heads.
and she says black is okay. So go
Okay.
on.
I don't mind the
Okay.
black, but the brick wall just tells me. Okay,
Now
so
I'm losing audio. It's cutting in and out. I bet it's our internet.
you think?
I don't know. No, Sandy doesn't say a brick wall, but it's okay. So go on. So April 30th.
Okay, so April, and if the sound keeps giving you problems, let us know. I don't know what else we could do to get rid of any sound issues, but let us know. So April 30th, 2015. I'm going to backtrack though, way back. I'm doing a flashback here. This picture here is a picture of my mom and dad right there, and also my two slightly older brothers who came on a Florida trip. We went together. My dad loved NASA. He loved going to Florida, but we didn't go on vacations or that stuff, much. But this trip in particular is the one I remember as a kid. I was about 5 or 6 years old. I actually took this picture. I'm very proud of that. I, as like a 5 or 6 year old, took this picture at NASA. My dad loved NASA. I sort of grew to love NASA myself and space flight and all that stuff, mainly because of this. And while we were down there, and if any of our Florida friends have any idea where this place is, I would love to figure out where this was. This picture right here is me sitting on my dad's lap at some dock or something in Florida. And again, we're talking about like 1967, 1968. Yeah, Jeff loves NASA. And
I have one job on this ship. Anyone know what that's from?
yeah, one job on this ship. Now, look at that kid. Is that the picture of happiness right there? Sitting with your dad in Florida on vacation, having a good old time. And this will come around and this will make sense, but it turns out that this was basically the last picture I ever had with my dad.
Did they go to?
We did go down south some. I thought we might have even gone as far south as the Keys at one point on this trip.
So you don't know what city this picture is
Don't know what city this picture was taken in. It's any part of coastal Florida, basically.
Ooh, that you've narrowed it down to how many miles?
Yeah, so if anyone figures out where this was, I would be so much
You never
appreciative.
asked me to figure it out. I thought you knew.
I had no clue.
Figure it
I had
out.
no clue. I mean, I was like 5, 6 years old at the time. But like I said, this picture has a lot of meaning to me. My daughter actually somewhat recently, in the last couple of years here, took a copy of this picture and framed it. And we have it up on our steps. She gave it to me as, I think it was a Father's Day gift, wasn't it?
Turn it off because it's cutting out the sun since you put it on.
Turn what off?
The brick wall. Is that what she's saying?
I'm not sure.
Okay, let's see.
I mean, it shouldn't be the background in the
Well, you changed the background.
green. No, I changed the green screen.
Yeah, here.
We usually have.
Take it off.
Okay, well, I could change it back to what we usually have,
Okay.
which is our Disney one, but I don't think that would cause the issue. Let's see what it does, though. There we go. We're back at Disney now.
Okay.
Anyway, let us know, Mary. Keep us posted on this because we definitely want to be able to have the sound working.
It could be the slides, though.
I think the slides are cutting the sound out.
You never know. Every time you add one more element, when you do a screen.
Well, that's what I sort of wondered, is if it might be because I still have, let me do this. There's that. There's this. There's this. I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to get rid of this. I'm
Okay.
just closing that out. I'm getting rid of more things, Mary. So we're going to see if that helps.
Okay, so
Neil, nice to see you out
Neil
there.
says, looking at the background, it looks like Port Canaveral, and that's what he's always thought.
That's
growing
very
up.
possible because we were at NASA, and as you saw from that previous picture, that I took, which again, that was a pretty cool picture for a little 5-6-year-old, and it was with one of those little 110 cameras, with the 110 film cartridge in
Now,
it.
Sandy says it looks like our port. Is Sandy in Fort Lauderdale?
I don't know.
Sandy,
I don't know.
okay.
I'm not sure where
Port,
Sandy's out of, but
it's fine on Facebook. Okay, so Sandy says
Good.
Port
Thank you.
Everglades in Broward County.
Thanks, Chris.
Loud and clear on YouTube. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
So-
good. So we got a good from Callum. We got a good from Chris on both YouTube and Facebook. Okay, so anyway, jumping back. So this was my flashback moment. This picture means a lot to me, and we'll get back to this here. Okay, so she lives in Lauderdale, it sounds like.
Yes, that's
Okay.
why I think it says.
Okay.
Okay, so just keep
Okay.
telling your story.
Okay. We'll figure it out at some point. I hope.
And the flash cube, yes.
Although I didn't have the flash cube for that one. That
We
picture
were outside.
was outside.
We have a tornado warning. Might be my connection right now, Mary
Oh,
says.
geez, yeah, Mary. I hope. Please be safe. Please be safe. Don't keep watching if it's going to kill you. We definitely don't want that. So anyway, so we're going to flash forward now. Flash forward about 45 years into the future. Okay, now we're into April of 2015.
17.
What's that?
Off 17 is that street?
17th Street
Causeway.
That's interesting. We'll keep figuring that out. We'll go back to the comments later after the show, and I'll see if I can figure out something or do some maybe Google Maps or something. Anyway, so we flash forward to April of 2015. It's about middle of the month, early to mid-month, and here we are having fun. This is me and my daughter having fun at a 4-H cake auction. We're having a great time. I mean, we're celebrating life. We're living the dream. We're having fun. As you can see, there's a picture of my daughter and my wife over here doing some
Disney bounding.
Disney bounding. Yeah.
If you can guess who she is and who I am.
Yeah, see if you can guess.
This is an interactive.
That's right. It is interactive.
Okay.
So we're having a great
Go
time.
to the next slide.
We're having a great time. Then a few days later, this little girl pops into our lives. This was our second granddaughter at the time. We have 5 now, but our second granddaughter was born. Beautiful moment, beautiful time. And then literally she's born, and my wife had been invited to go to, the circle is now complete.
Yes, I was Snow White, correct?
All right. So she was invited to a NASA social event. Now, I love NASA. I mean, rocketry and all that
We don't want to
stuff.
hear this. He's been told repeatedly that he could get invited.
I'm going to try and get invited
He starts
sometime.
blogging more, but he doesn't blog.
I got a blog
Okay.
about that kind of stuff. Anyway, so my wife got invited to a NASA social event. We had to be there the next day after our granddaughter was born. We literally got to the hospital.
Held her.
She's born. We held her for a while. We visited. And then we left straight from the hospital and drove straight through the rest of the day, overnight, and got to the NASA social event
You
like
give
around,
too many details.
it's like around 6, 7.
We
in the
drove a
morning.
long time.
We drove a long time.
He's so flowery with the words. We drove a long time. And you stole my photos.
I did a few.
Did you give me credit?
My wife. Well, I'm going to right now.
Oh,
if you would
okay.
give me a second. Jeez, stole her photos.
Without my permission.
So here's my wife. She's at NASA the next day. She is at CRS-6. So basically, it was the Commercial Resupply Service Mission number 6. So this is an early on mission for SpaceX. They actually
we were treated as
press.
press.
Mhm.
So they invited bloggers and social media people and alongside the
Mhm.
press.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a mom blogger. We don't like bloggers.
No,
Don't like that.
they don't
term,
call
but,
them that anymore.
But yes, we're influencers. I'm a mom. I'm blogging. Okay. and don't never expected when I filled out the application to get an invite, and really felt out of my league. Really. I mean, I know that
you did good.
I'm knowledgeable, but I did not read up. I will admit, the first one I didn't read all of the press briefings. I didn't know about the press briefings.
And here she is sitting with ABC, NBC, CBS.
There weren't
CNN.
there's not a whole lot of press like there used to be.
I know, not like there used to be,
No.
but the press were there, and she's sitting in with the press at this meeting.
It was mostly bloggers, though.
Okay.
A few press, mostly
Okay.
bloggers.
And
Some local channels show up,
and there's the vehicle assembly building,
which is really cool.
and the sign basically with the 92 degrees, April 12th, 2015. Get you the exact date and time there. So she's at the NASA social event. At the same time, I'm with the boys, and we're at NASA too, but we're in the visitor center, and we're doing the tours.
Look at that picture, Jack. I want that picture.
You're going to steal my picture? Is that what
Yes.
you're going to? Okay. Yeah. So there's Jack 6 years ago. There's Marcus. And there's a Saturn V rocket sitting right behind him. We're having a ball. So, I mean, like I said, we're living life. We're having a great time.
Okay, so quickly, because we're having a great time.
Yeah. Me and the boys go to the beach.
I'm working.
And she's at the NASA social thing. We also did putt-putt. I don't have pictures. I have pictures, but I didn't put any on the slides here. So we're having fun. We're having fun. And here's my wife. Go back to her. She's right up with the rocket and everything.
The rocket's right behind us.
The
I don't know if
rocket's
you can
right
see
behind her. Well, now they're going to see. And my wife is right in
So this
there.
was the day before, not the day of the launch. It's the day before the launch. They take us on a tour.
Mhm.
We see the vehicle assembly building. We go up to the fence around where the rocket is.
And I don't think in this picture, I don't think he was there this day. I think he was there the next day or something. Tim Tracker was there.
No, not for
Or was
this
that
one.
was that the
That
next
was
one?
the next one. He
Okay.
wasn't there then.
She was there for 2015 and another one a year or two later. But anyway, so and there she is. This is how close she is. Now I did get her. I had my DSLR camera. I had gotten the 300 millimeter lens. Now
I
she
took some
didn't.
nice pictures.
You didn't
I?
zoom in that close because you were pretty close at this point. But yeah, these are some of the pictures she took. And then
Okay, so the audio issues Facebook, not you. SpaceX mission just brought 6 astronauts back to Earth.
yes, they
Yes,
did. They
yeah,
just
yes.
started with Crew 1 and Crew 2 missions now. Really cool. I mean, some really cool stuff going on with SpaceX these days. And then, and then we've got the we've got the SN-15, which I think is supposed to the test flight. I think is the next day or two. With the flippy maneuver, belly flop maneuver.
Okay, so Mary says, I had not heard this part of the story. This is not the day before. This is.
I'm working up to it. This is in April, but I'm just trying to give you a feel for.
And
This
there's
is
a
life.
reason.
We're
Okay.
having. I mean, we have all these things happening. I'm
I was
excited.
trying to.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is April 13th, 14th, something like this.
Yeah, because I think
It's
the
maybe-
launch was delayed one day or something.
Okay, so and the reason that this is significant, you'll hear. So, because he does cut out a lot when he tells the story. He'd be here 2 weeks telling me,
Yeah, and every time I tell the story, really,
please come outside.
please come outside. Did I miss something?
I'm wondering if she was typing this on her phone to a child or something.
We're not sure, Holly.
Holly?
It's dark outside right now. I don't want to go outside. Is that okay?
So,
Are you sitting at our front door or something? You're gonna
wouldn't
have to.
that be cool?
That would be funny if she
No,
was.
okay,
yeah.
so go on.
That'd be great to meet Holly. If you are, let us know. But if you're not, please elaborate on what "please come outside" means, because I'm not sure.
My phone was listening to me. That's cool.
Good
Okay.
old Siri or whatever translated your thing and plugged it in. That's good.
We can't trust our phones. They are taking control.
They know everything.
Okay, so go on. Come
Okay,
on.
so then
I'm not coming outside. We have a tornado warning.
You stay safe.
Yes,
stay
I was
safe.
telling my son to come outside to help me paint. Okay, so
Okay.
so
the next day,
cool rockets. I'm up close and personal with these rockets. Now this is from the press site, which is what is it? 2 miles?
I think it's as close as you can
It
get.
is. It's the closest that humans are.
That they'll let anyone,
So
any non-technical people or whatever get.
So this
Excuse me.
was the rocket launch. Very cool. Exceedingly cool. These are some pictures I took.
These are actually from our
Exceedingly cool.
DSLR camera. It's our own pictures from our
Now,
camera.
they had said
Your
to
pictures,
us
but mine,
not to take pictures, just to watch. And I'm trying to hold the camera so I can watch with my eye.
With a new 300 millimeter zoom lens that I'd only used to test out a couple of shots. And then I hand it over to you and say, here you go.
So I'm trying to watch because I don't want to miss the experience.
Yeah.
So go
But
on.
you did. She had a lot of good shots. I just put a couple on here just to give you an idea. In the meantime, me and the boys are across the water, about as close, roughly as close as you can get without being on NASA property.
Now, I'm going to interject here. Any of you that know my husband knows that he likes to recreate things. If we took a picture in front of the castle with blue shirts on and we're standing with our hands on our head, the next year we're going to take that same exact picture whether we want to or not. Okay, go on.
Okay. Callum says he'd love to see a launch live.
It's
awesome. It's an awesome experience.
Okay, so I don't know, and this has nothing to do with the story we're telling, but with our first 3 children, I did apply for the second to the last shuttle launch. You had to get it. It was a lottery, and if you won, you could pay for the tickets. They weren't free, but I did not get it. I didn't even tell him I was trying for it. He had no clue. We got the was it the last one? We got the last shuttle launch. We got tickets, and we went to see the last shuttle launch. We didn't take all 3. Was it who came?
It was Marcus and Jack Jack.
No,
the last shuttle launch.
Oh, yes, the last shuttle launch. But we had
our first 3 kids, though, we saw a shuttle launch at night.
It was actually early.
It was like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning.
And that was in September of.
Oh boy, that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
but
we saw
at least 20 years ago.
So we saw a shuttle launch with our older kids, and then we saw the last shuttle launch with Marcus and Jack Jack. And so those were really cool. That was really cool experience. I thought I had done everything I was going to do regarding rockets. And Sandy says, wow, you're blessed. And I would say it was God's favor. I know that. And I'm going to get a little spiritual here because the way it worked out for the last shuttle launch, the kids had some 4-H judging.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
We, after the judging was over, we got in the car, we drove down. There was another judging, like what?
A couple days later.
Yeah, so we watched the shuttle launch, got in the car, and drove off.
Drove back. I mean, it was another one of those whirlwind trips.
And Mary says, I would love to see a launch too. And the thing is, Jeff probably doesn't talk about this often, but he wanted to be an astronaut. That was when we started dating. He said he would love to be an astronaut. However, his eyesight was not good enough.
I had glasses like pop bottom, the bottoms of pop bottles or whatever.
Me seeing this launch, that was probably hard. Is that what broke your heart? Me seeing a launch? No, I'm joking. No. That was a joke.
No, and like I said, so me and the boys, we were at the beach. We had a hotel in Cocoa Beach. We were at the beach. We played some putt-putt.
Okay, do the next.
We went to a waterway. I could point it out on a map. I can't remember exactly where it is, but again, it's fairly close. It's about as close as you can get to NASA without being on NASA property. And I had a little tripod set up with my video camera and stuff, and we watched the launch. Really cool. We also got to see dolphins. We got to see dolphins back here in the water. It was really interesting. Right above my head here, it's very hard to see if you can see it at all on your screen. But there, that little square there is the vehicle assembly building way in the background. And over here to the right is about where the launch took place. Okay, so Oh, they were at Disney when a shuttle. Oh, that'd be
Steve
cool.
couldn't see it.
3 a.m. Yeah, Steve couldn't see it, but Mary
No,
could. I'm
and
sure.
when you're, and I don't know how much of the sky lights up at Disney,
Oh,
but when
man.
we were there at the 4:45, whatever it was, the entire sky lit up like it was daytime.
It was like the sun came up all of a sudden. It just everything lit up.
So,
But we watched the launch. Me and the boys from over here. After the launch happened, there were dolphins swimming around in the water. I got some video of that. We had a great time, and this guy was there. There were actually quite a few people over here, but this one guy was still hanging out. He was putting away some of his camera equipment. He obviously had done this a lot. He comes out for a lot of rocket launches, and he says this is one of the best places, and I just happened to pick it.
okay, so Sandy says it's thrilling out here. You can feel the ground shake,
Yeah.
the sound, and just being there. Nothing like it. Okay,
It's
so
like
now
your
it is.
chest.
You can feel it in your body.
Yeah.
The
rumble.
rumble.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Mary says, I don't remember that. I think she's replying to Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
So we're here having a good time. I asked this guy who's
how
there.
many
I said,
slides do you have?
I don't know. A lot.
Okay.
31. I'm halfway through.
Okay.
So I asked this guy,
To take a picture.
could you take a picture of me and my boys here? Sort of on a dock. It wasn't really a dock, but you can see, I mean, it's just right there with the water. We're in Florida. I'm with the boys. And I was thinking of this. And so I had this picture taken. I just sort of did it sort of like in honor of my dad to help recreate that memory. And, you know, at the time, I didn't think that was going to be the last picture with my dad. I had no clue. I was just a little kid. And here, as an adult, 53 years at the time, 53-year-old, I didn't have a clue that this could be a last shot with my kids. You never know what's going to happen in your life, okay? So, for one thing, I just want to tell you, you want to live, I mean, and I forget day to day, even after this happened. But this really hit home for me that live every day like it could be your last. Live every day trying to do something good for somebody, because you don't know what is going to be happening tomorrow. So just okay, I'm getting off on a little side note there, but please just live every day like it could be your last. Okay, so we get back home. Couple weeks later, now we still had more stuff that happened. I had a great niece who had her first communion.
Stop. Let's just go on. Okay,
No,
so
I'm
yes,
just saying, there was still way more. We had a ton of your nephew came from Virginia and visited us.
Come on.
You remember that? And
Yes,
we had the
okay.
goats out, and his nephews were there, and we were playing with the kids.
It's April 30th, 2015.
So we're fast forwarding a couple of weeks here. But April was, I mean, insanely busy. All kind of stuff.
Okay, so let me tell the story from this
Three
point.
little pigs.
Three little pigs. Let me tell the
And
story
this,
from this
you
point.
tell about what happened.
Okay,
what this was all about.
so
Right
I had
here.
been invited to the Disney Social Media Mom Celebration, which was May.
It was like May 2nd, I think it started. Second or third. Yeah, it was like May. No, well, yeah, it was.
So we were going to be leaving, and I'm packing. So I get this package. Disney sends Disney and Samsonite.
Yeah.
American Tourister. But they're the same company.
Okay. But they sent this nice piece of luggage.
So this piece of luggage, swiveling wheels.
I'm just trying to look real quick. The official luggage of Disney World and Disneyland.
It's American Tourister.
Yeah.
Okay. So they send this luggage, and then I'm trying to pack, and he needs to pick up the pigs. He goes and he gets these 3 pigs, and he carries them down to the pen, and he
well, I mean, it was a full day. I mean, I had to borrow a truck from a friend. I had to go to their house, pick up the truck, go with the boys about an hour away, go to an auction, find these pigs, buy the pigs, get them loaded in the pickup truck, come back home, get them unloaded at home, throw them in the pen, clean the truck, get the truck back to my friend.
And then come home and look at his wife and say, I'm going to a baseball practice. Softball. For the church softball team.
It was our church softball team. It was our first practice of the year.
No, you're not. We hadn't even talked about it. He just walked in and said, I'm going to the church softball practice. We have this, and this to do. We're leaving in a few days. I am so far behind on everything. Really, this is not what you should be doing.
No, it's not.
That's what I said. You really should.
You better circle back around to
this.
No,
I'm not circling back. I don't even like that phrase, so I don't circle back.
Well, come back.
There's no
come back to
back.
This at some point.
So there's no circling back.
Because there's definitely a reason why I was.
Yes, there was. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I didn't want him to go. So I said no. He left. I'm mad at him. We did not kiss. Remember that.
Yeah, did not kiss. We usually kiss when I leave. Did not kiss. So.
Because he was mad at me.
I wasn't mad at you.
You were mad at me.
I was not mad at you.
You were mad at me because I told you I didn't want you to go.
Nope.
Okay, go on to the next slide.
Nope. Wasn't mad at you. So I go to the practice. Okay. I go to the practice. And I'm playing second base and I'm taking some grounders.
You know, if somebody's just popping in and out every once in a while, they see rockets, they see pigs, they see luggage. None of this makes sense.
No, it doesn't. This is my life. This is how we live. This is our world
pigs, here. Rockets and luggage.
3 little pigs, rockets, NASA, and Disney social media moms.
It makes perfect sense.
It makes all the sense.
Okay, next slide.
Well, the next slide didn't really happen until here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. The next slide doesn't really matter until I get to that part. Okay, so I go to the practice. I'm taking grounders. I'm taking pop-ups, and then a couple of guys go up the bat, and I'm fielding the hits and stuff. Then it was my turn to bat. So. You're taking an hour to get to the event. Just saying, I know, Mary, at least we're not completely off the rails. Okay. We're working toward it. I'm almost there.
Back in 1969.
So I go up to bat. The youth pastor, his name's Sean. He's, lobbing the pitches in. And I'm not
okay, so here's the thing.
She's going to interrupt. Sorry, Mary. I'm trying to get to it, Mary.
Here's how you know this is the truth. Because his story is very consistent. Okay,
it is very consistent. Because it's like it happened yesterday when I think about it.
Okay, go on.
So I'm not a big guy, okay?
Really?
Well, I'm getting bigger around here, but not where it counts, okay?
Okay, so go on.
I'm not a power hitter, but I was pretty darn good at the previous seasons, like poking the ball into the gaps. Okay. So I'm looking, okay, there's a spot there. Boom. I'd hit one to left center field. Okay. I can hit this one. So I'm hitting the ball. I'm hitting about a dozen nice little line drives and hard grounders and maybe, doing great. And then the youth pastor lobs one in. It's coming a little bit inside. And I think in my head, this is what I mean, like it was yesterday. I'm there at bat, coming inside, and I'm thinking I'm going to take one step back with my left foot, and I'm going to chop this one over to right field because I hadn't done a right field hit yet. And that was the last thing I remembered. After that, it was pretty much that. That's what I remember. Nothing. I completely passed out.
You didn't pass out.
Well, I did apparently they told me this after the fact. I did a
Don't forget it was the NFL draft.
That's right. Thank you, Steve. So I did a 360 spin, plopped down on the ground. The catcher behind me, and this was Steve because he's heard this part before, the catcher behind me is like, thinking I'm goofing around. The people, they're all like thinking, oh, he's goofing off. Okay, he's going to get up. I didn't get up.
Moral of the story: when you goof off, people think you're goofing off.
Well, I've never swung at a softball, spun around, and flattened myself on the ground. So the catcher's going, "Hey Jeff, come on, get up! I want to get out of here, soon."
I know he's saying that.
He told me this after the fact. Okay. Some of this stuff I'm piecing together from stories that I heard after the fact that they told me, because I'm dead right now. He tells me, "Let's get up. I want to get to the NFL draft is tonight. I want to get home so I can watch." And for a Browns fan like I am, and like most of the people that were on the field at that time, the NFL draft was like our Super Bowl because our team stunk so bad. It was like, who are they going to get in the draft? This is exciting. So spun around, boom, hit the ground. I'm dead. They didn't know this at the time. But after they saw me still laying there, obviously they knew something was wrong. I apparently started turning blue, purple,
and I
red.
was probably at home, like fixing my hair or something.
Yeah, you were probably still packing the bags and stuff. We're getting ready for our Disney trip. I mean, this was a big deal too. This was not a small thing to get invited to this Disney Social Media Moms thing. This was a huge thing. And then just 2 weeks earlier to be able to go to this NASA social. I mean, it was just like everything was falling together. So many things were happening right in our lives. And then I die. So I'm laying there. I'll tell a little bit and then you can...
You don't know what happened.
Well, I'm laying there. And apparently 2 of the guys on the team knew CPR. They had taken CPR.
They were certified in CPR.
Yeah.
They had never done CPR.
Yeah, well, nobody ever really does it unless you're an EMT or, some hospital, somebody, a doctor.
Have any of you ever done CPR on a person, not on a dummy?
Well, these 2 guys got to do it on a dummy because they got to do it on me.
I don't know why you say that. It's not
because that's what Matt said at the hospital afterwards. He said it. It's a side story. He told me at one point, he said, I had never done CPR on anyone in my life except on a dummy. And I looked at him and I just smiled and I said, and you've still only done it on a dummy. But so I'm laying there. They start figuring out I'm turning blue, purple, red, all kind of colors. They check my pulse, they check my heart, nothing going on. So they start working on me. One guy starts doing CPR by pumping my heart, chest compressions. The other guy takes turns and he's doing breathing for me. And thank goodness they did that. I mean,
so did they walk up to you and say,
Lewis is here. Hi, Lewis.
Debo, you got knocked?
I'm not sure.
Movie Friday?
Don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
No.
What?
Holly says,
Greetings.
No, I haven't. Only on a dummy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're to the point of the story where he's laying there dead, and they start CPR.
So on that, you're jumping in a little late, but maybe you're on time. I don't know. You missed all the lead up to it.
So
I'm laying there dead. They're doing CPR on me.
It's my part.
It's probably about 10 minutes have gone by. Part. I know, about 10 minutes have gone by.
Okay.
I'm still dead. They're still working on me. I'm still dead.
Just the way you say it.
This is sort of like what's that? I was mostly dead.
Okay, so I'm standing, and that's as I remember from last year. So I'm standing in the kitchen.
You missed the beginning though, and at the beginning was actually
different.
You never saw this part of it. So if you get a chance, watch the beginning because the first hour was not stuff I had talked about last year or any other year.
So I'm standing in the kitchen, I'm doing some stuff, and the phone rings, and I pick it up, and it was the youth pastor, and he says, Patty, I don't want to be making this phone call. And I knew at that point, I knew there was like something in me just knew. I have worked EMS and have done CPR on 2 different people.
Let me ask Lewis. I mean, this is a personal question. If you don't want to answer it, please don't. But
What was the outcome?
What was
with
the
those two
outcome
people?
of those two people? If you could let us know.
So he said,
So the youth
he said
pastor
that
is talking to
the
her.
two guys are doing CPR, and I said, "Who's praying?" And he said, "We all are, but it's been over 12 minutes. He's blue. He's gone." And I said, and I tell people this all the time when I tell the story, that it was not me. It was the Holy Spirit, because I usually panic first and then I pray. But I said, keep praying. God raises the dead. And that was something, you don't say today, I'm going to believe that God raises the dead. You say through a lifetime of watching God perform miracles. And I have so many stories like that.
Yeah.
And yes, and
Yeah,
that
Lewis,
is the story.
and that's part of what I'm going to talk about a little bit today too. Is that all too many times it's not a positive outcome, unfortunately.
So you don't get to the point in your life where you have that faith. I mean, I know it was the Holy Spirit speaking. I know that. But you don't get to the point where you have that faith by not seeing other miracles. I saw, when I was young, my sister was laying in the hospital dying, and she is still here. And then my brother was shot and was in critical condition, and he is still here. I have a brother who has had more critical life events and is still here.
I don't understand.
And we have a very good friend. And I'll say this now, but it was afterwards, at a year after April 30th. So on April 30th, 2016, we had a life party, and we had very good friends in our house. And my brother walked in, and our very good friend said, "You are standing in front of two miracles." And I said, "My brother was shot."
So there's three. Yeah, three of us.
And so I have seen God work miracles over and over. So I said that, and then I panicked and handed the phone to my daughter. And while she was on the phone, I ran around the kitchen saying, I don't know where he plays softball. I don't know where the practice was.
Yeah, she has no clue. I mean, I had been going to this place for practice for like the previous 3 years, maybe 4. I don't know.
Jack, please understand this. Don't make me feel.
No. I know.
But
I know.
My life is consumed. And plus, I'm angry.
Unless you have a special needs child, you might not understand.
Unless he has a special needs child. So listen. My husband went to play softball. I got to stay home with Jack. So,
you got to go out once in a while with your sisters or some friends or things like that, or homeschool meetings.
At that point, probably meetings. Not.
But that was my only outlet, was softball. It really was. I don't go to bars. I don't drink. Other than maybe a glass of wine or something here every.
Okay, so anyway, I did not know where he played, and I'm running around the kitchen. I'm running around the kitchen looking for my socks, because I have no socks now.
And at this point, she still thinks I'm dead. Still, at this point, I'm just dead. So I'm just laying there.
Melissa gets off the phone and she says, "I said, do you know where to go?" And she said, "We're going to the hospital." She said, while I was on the phone with Sean, he said the EMT arrived. They shocked him one time.
Yep. They used a portable AED unit of all things, even though they were, it was an EMTs, fire department group or whatever that came out. It's a volunteer group.
And so they shocked him one time. He slowly came to, opened his eyes, and when they put him in the ambulance, he was telling jokes. Now, at this point, we still don't know. Did he have a stroke? What had happened? And we don't know his mental state. He could be telling jokes and still not know who he is.
We still don't know my mental
Should we
state. But
stop
that's for another day.
So we're going to tell a very abridged version here.
Well, okay. So they shocked me.
Tell an abridged version.
I'm trying to. Like I said, I mean, this story, every time I tell it, it does change. Not change, but I'm like, there's things that I think about that I like, yeah, I forgot about, it's like every single time there's like some little nuance or something but let me put this up here for a second. This is what my wife did. And I'm not going to get preachy on you here, but
oh, why not?
Well, okay, I'm going to preach for 1 second here, okay?
I preach every day of my life. My whole life is a sermon.
We're all basically out there to spread the word, spread the good news.
Spread the good news, yes.
But my wife, okay, let me ask you this. If you get a phone call from anyone, a youth pastor, whoever, and says, your husband's basically, he's not coming back. It's not good. He's been dead for 12 minutes. And what do you think you're going to do? You're going to go crazy, right? I would. But no, my wife goes, who's praying for him? And then tells this youth pastor, keep praying, God raises the dead. My wife was the epitome of this verse here.
This is the second verse I memorized.
Really? As a kid or as a young adult? Or
as we were married. When I started going to a Bible study.
Okay.
Yes, he said on the phone that Mary said, did he say that on the phone? He told me he was gone.
Yeah. He said he's gone. And he said, I really don't want to be having to make this call. I mean, he was calling her to let her know I was done. I wasn't,
Sandy said it's a miracle for sure after that long. Love this scripture. So yes, this scripture that don't be anxious. That was something that I memorized because I was a person who, and to many, today I opened the refrigerator and my pop that I did not drink yesterday, my root beer, there's this much in the bottle that I saved for myself. I opened the refrigerator and now there's only this much. And so I overreact. I was anxious, wasn't I?
Yes, you were. You were very anxious about not having enough root beer. So that, I mean, to me, that's one of my biggest blessings is the fact that she
read the Bible for years.
Well, no, but you practiced praying. You prayed
practiced praying.
No, you did.
I did.
You prayed about little things. You prayed about big things. So that when this moment came, as I'm laying there dead, you had the faith to pray for, because a lot of people will pray and this, I caution you on this one. I mean, when I see a lot of the stuff on Facebook, somebody will have something that they need prayers for, and I will pray for that. And I'm sure you do too, but a lot of people will just sort of say, God, whatever your will is, that's what's going to happen. And, no, we prayed for specific things. And my wife prayed for a specific thing. She said, God raises the dead. And that's what we're praying for. Not, God, whatever your will is, if he's going to die, he dies. Well, if he's going to live, he lives. No,
I think scripture is very clear. Anyone who approached Jesus and said, heal me, heal my servant, he'll raise, my daughter's dead. They didn't say whatever your will is. They came to Jesus and said, this is my request.
So I had a wife who was faithful enough and had the faith in God to basically say, God raises the dead. That's what we're praying for. So anyway, literally, and as we get back to the baseball field now, literally within probably 1 to 2 minutes of you saying that, that's when I came back. And now, obviously I got shocked, but I was down for at least 15 minutes. Now, I don't know. My wife had looked this up after the fact. She looked up, what are your odds if you're down for 5 minutes?
Why
are
would I look this up?
Yeah. After I'm in the hospital and she's looking up these things. What are your odds of coming back after 10 minutes? What are your odds of coming back? And it was like after 10 minutes, I think that basically the odds went down to like 0.001 or 0.000, some ridiculously small percentage. Of coming back,
and he has no clue. I have not even told him the things I looked up in those days. Those days about what happens to the brain, and all, I'm reading it all.
Come back.
Sandy said everyone needs to accept Jesus as their Savior, and He will change your life. Amen.
Thank you. Absolutely.
And Lewis said,
Sandy.
"Well, thank God you were given more time in this world. God must have felt that you still have something to do."
And Lewis
and maybe this is the something.
And this is a part of that something. I really think that the whole Disney thing and the whole Disney family and the whole Disney community, part of it is definitely part of why I'm still here. I really believe that. God said, I'm not done with you yet. And so he had me on that baseball field surrounded. And here's the other thing. If you die,
if you
die somewhere, I'm just, hypothetically speaking here, if you die somewhere, thinking about it, where would you want to die? Probably somewhere like near a hospital, or maybe somewhere where there's medical people right there that can, do something for you or whatever. Not probably the choice that most people would make is maybe out on a church softball field out in the middle of nowhere, sort of in the boonies,
so
not really close to anything. And
so are we going to talk about that church softball field?
What about it?
At the end?
Let's
rush so we can talk about, because I have some things that I haven't told you that I want to share.
That's what I'm saying. Every time I tell this, there's new things that come up about it.
But I haven't told you things.
Okay, but
you would think after 6 years.
6 years, we still haven't gotten the whole story out. But would you sit there and say, "Yeah,
Sandy wants to die in her bed at night, and Mary, I don't want to die for yet."
No, not yet.
Jeff,
not yet.
Let's hold on that.
And Sandy, we don't want you to die in bed yet. No. I'm saying, and so I'm not thinking in my mind, if I were to think of that hypothetically, let's see, maybe on a softball field at a church, sort of out in the middle of nowhere, not really close to the fire department or anything. But
Steve doesn't want you to forget the DeWalt drill. Okay, so we have to hurry.
Okay, I'm trying to hurry.
Okay, come on. So, I'm gonna keep you honest.
I'm trying.
So,
but I was exactly where I needed to be. God knew where I needed to be. He had two godly men on this softball team that happened to have CPR training, and a bunch of guys praying around me. Okay.
Wait, now you have to understand.
And a faithful wife.
The man who was doing the chest compressions, his wife and I talked a few weeks later. She didn't want him to go that night. They were not.
They were fighting too, apparently.
She was not happy that he went either.
His name was Matt. Matt's the guy who did.
There is nothing like being proven wrong.
So my wife was mad because I went. Matt, the guy who did the chest compressions, was mad. His wife was mad at him because he went to the practice. God knew what to do. He just said, heck with you.
And you do make sure you have clean underwear, because when I worked together this week, we used to only tell the funny stories. I
did have clean underwear, Lewis. I did. I
know
promise.
where I'm going. So I think I have peace with it. I'm in God's hands each day. Yes,
absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I'm dead.
To make a long story longer.
I'm going to try and speed up. I get zapped back. Okay. Now this is the weird part. I do need to tell this. I mean, I can't explain where I was exactly. I really can't. But there was at least a micro millisecond of time where I felt like I was like looking at infinity or something. It's hard to explain. I tried to draw pictures to put on a slide. It doesn't do it any justice. But it was like I was looking through this doorway into a star field that just went on forever and ever and ever. And it felt like at one point I felt like I knew everything. Like everything made sense. Everything made sense.
And no, it doesn't.
I wish I had. I wish I could have retained a little bit of that snippet of time where that happened. But then they zapped me, and it was like one of those old TV sets, with the old cathode ray tube, and you'd have like this little circle of light in the middle of the TV screen, and then it would like expand, and the picture would start to focus. That's almost what it looked like to me when I started to come back. I had this like little tunnel vision view. Everything around the peripheral area was all gray and stuff. And then the picture started getting bigger and bigger and got more colorful and came back in the focus. And here I am laying on the ground with these people. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what did I do? I passed out. I fainted. They had to get, some medical people here to, get me revived or something. That's all I thought. I thought I just passed out. My heart's racing though. I mean, it's like going boom, 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 really pounding hard in my chest.
After it wasn't.
Right. After it wasn't doing anything, it must have felt like it had to catch up. Yeah, and it did. It had to pump some blood through me to get some oxygen into my body. And I'm breathing heavy. My toes were tingling because obviously no oxygen was getting down to them
or blood, yeah.
Blood, yeah, oxygen. But I start to come back. My vision's back. I'm laying on the ground. And one of the first things they do is, the EMT, his name, John, was the guy who zapped me. Oh my goodness. Stephen was the guy who he apparently was taking over when they got there with like a bag. I didn't know this until after the fact. And then Abby, the other EMT, this is the part that Steve wants me to tell. So be prepared for this. And I didn't find this out until later either. Apparently, because you're dead and you're mostly dead, I was dead. Your blood isn't pumping through your veins or arteries. So the only way they can get medicine into your body,
the epinephrine or something,
instead of like in your arm or wherever they normally would put it, they used a drill into the bone in my leg, like right. You can't see it.
You can't see it.
Basically, below my knee, about halfway down below my knee, near my foot. Between my knee and my foot. Oh, Perry's out there.
I see that.
All right,
Happy
Perry. Nice to see you.
Jeff.
Yeah, we're way into the story, Perry, but we're glad to see you out there.
Lewis wants to know if you saw Walt.
I did not see Walt, unfortunately, Lewis. I did not see Walt. But like I said, everything made sense there for a second. And it did. It looked like I was like just peering into infinity for whatever brief moment it was. And a millisecond at that point would be like an infinity. I mean, it really, that time didn't mean
okay,
anything.
So they put him in the ambulance.
So wait. Okay. So they ask me as I'm starting to come around, they say, do you know where you are? They want to see if my brain's working. And I said, yeah, I'm laying on the ground near home plate at a softball field in the middle of Struthers, in Struthers, Ohio. And they're like, okay. And it didn't make any sense to them because, and Lewis, I'm sure you might be able to vouch for this since it sounds like you've been in that medical industry or business a little bit. You get revived from CPR from being dead, and I don't think most people are lucid and just like back, but I was back. I was laying there. I wanted to get up and leave. I felt like, okay, let me calm down, let me get my breath back, and then I'm going to leave. And so they said, where are you at? I told them exactly where I was on their home plate in Struthers, Ohio, at a softball field at a church there in Struthers. And they go, ask me my name. I told them my name. Then they asked me who my family doctor is. And anybody who knows me knows I'm really bad with people's names. And so I was like, well, my family doctor, it's an Irish type name. And if you go through Poland, Ohio on 224, make a right-hand turn at the Arby's, then a quick left at the veterinary clinic. The doctor's office is right behind there. And they're looking at each other like, yeah, I know exactly where you're talking about. That makes sense. And they're not getting it. They're not getting it. They're like, this guy is back. He's back. And I'm just sitting there thinking I passed out and I just came to. So eventually they say, well, we need to take you to the hospital. We need to get you there quick. And that's about the time, I think, when Melissa was still on the phone with Sean and had told her they're taking me to the hospital.
This from the time
this all happened within minutes.
No, from the time I gave Melissa the phone till this point is only like 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes. Jeff can stretch it out to 45.
Well, wait, I got to show you this.
Okay.
He's got
to show you this. He's got to.
I got to show you this. So the other thing that was told to me, the one EMT tells me, and I think it was Abby. She goes, I'm sorry, but we, to get quick access to you, we had to cut your shirt off. Okay.
Mary said Jeff can stretch it out for hours. I know, the 2 minutes. Explain to him he needs to keep it moving here.
This is the actual shirt. This is the actual shirt.
Because he will never get rid of it.
Well, this has a lot of meaning to me. You can't get rid of this. This shirt, as you can see, is basically ripped in several places. They just basically they
cut it off.
They cut it. They just cut the thing to pieces. And it's hard to tell over the camera, but so they cut it off. And the first thing I mentioned, first thing I said, they said, so we cut your shirt off. And I said, what? I was like, you guys cut my Cleveland Indians shirt up? And everybody's laughing. The one guy in the background, Craig, he goes, Jeff, and I couldn't see him, but I could hear him. And he's going, Jeff, don't worry, man. I'll get you a new shirt. I'll get you a Yankees shirt. And I'm like, oh, no. He was a big Yankees fan. So I'm laughing, I'm joking. And I was dead just minutes before.
Perry.
That.
They cut up a perfectly good Indian shirt.
Exactly.
Perfectly good.
What?
On a dead man.
I might stitch this thing up. If I get to it someday. It's only been 6 years. Maybe I'll
Please.
It.
Okay.
So they start they throw me in the ambulance. They start taking me to the hospital. Why are you doing that?
Because I'm trying to get you to quit talking with your hands. Both of us can't.
I'm half Italian. What do you want me to do?
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. So in the meantime.
Yes. In the meantime.
I'm gonna here at 9:30. I'm gonna be done with my 2 minutes worth. In the meantime, I get Melissa says she'll drive us.
I'm sorry, Louis.
Melissa says she'll drive us. Stop. Melissa says she'll drive us. And we get in the car, we load up Marcus and Jack. I call our other adult children. Our one daughter, our son just had a baby a couple weeks before. He gets in their car. They're all going to meet us at the hospital. I make a couple phone calls. One of the phone calls is my good friend, who I know how she prays. She prays, God raise the dead, God heal the sick.
Basically, like we
my
talked about
second
earlier,
friend
you got to pray for something. Pray for specific. Don't just say, God, your will, whatever. No, you pray for something. You ask for it. And
my second friend I called prays the same way. Then I called my sisters and said, we're on our way to the hospital. And I started to call your family members, except I didn't know exactly what am I going to say to them.
Well, let's see. Your brother was dead. Now he's not, but we're not really sure what's going on. He could be brain dead.
You're taking my 2 minutes. Did you see this? He's taking my 2 minutes.
He could have something mental going on up here.
Yes, pray group. Yes. So,
yes. Absolutely.
So then we get to the hospital, and the woman at the counter in the emergency room, she sees Marcus and Jack. See,
how do you talk with that?
You can't talk without your hands. I have less than 30 seconds left on my part.
You're good.
She sees Marcus and Jack, and then she sees our adult sons come in with their little kids. And she says, the ambulance didn't get there yet. She opens up a private room to put us in. So we are sitting in this private room. We do not know at this point. Nobody has told us anything. Besides the fact that he's in the ambulance on the way there.
And so I get to the hospital. I'm in the emergency room. They put me in there. And I don't know where my family is. You got 2 minutes. To wrap up the whole thing?
No, it's for your section.
Oh, okay.
For this section right here.
Okay.
This slide.
So I don't know where my family is. I'm thinking they're going to be at the hospital. I don't know. Now, they put me in the emergency room. And this is what I end up doing, okay? I'm laying there. They've got the little oxygen thing on my nose. At the time, this was 6 years ago, I absolutely did not like or hated. Hate's a bad word. Hate's a very tough word. But I did. I hated group texts and I hated selfies. But I did them both that night. I lay in there. I'm feeling great. They're trying to figure me out. They're like, you were down for 15 minutes is what the chart here thing is saying. I'm like, yeah, I was. That's what they're telling me. I said, but where's my phone? Do I have my cell phone? Is it in the bag that you have laying over here somewhere?
Louis wants to know if they shaved your chest hair.
Not yet. But that's a little later. Along with some other spots that I'm not going to discuss. But I take my phone. They give me my phone. It was still in this plastic bag of my belongings, along with my shirt that got cut. And I texted this picture right here that you're looking at with me laying there. And I said, I'm still alive or something like that. I said, I love you. I'm doing fine. And so this is where I was.
There is no way they could figure you out, Jeff. I hope they didn't waste too much time on that. Mary, you have no idea.
But they seriously, they couldn't figure it out.
Next slide.
They're trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. Okay, so now so eventually they got me into a room. Now you remember that there was somebody else who got in an accident or something, and I said, put that guy in the room you were going to put me in because he looks like he needs it more than I do. Because I'm fine. I'm like, I'm going to get out of here. I feel fine. Why am I here?
They put him in a room.
They put me in a room. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
And then they they're going to observe him overnight. Yeah. And they told me I couldn't stay the night, but I could stay until a cardiologist came in.
I forgot about that.
So in the morning, I sleep. I didn't even have a chair to sleep in. And they're going to put him on a normal floor. And my sister, who's a nurse, insisted that he is on a cardiac floor. So he's on a cardiac floor with a heart monitor on, and I'm sitting by the bed.
They got a nitro patch on me.
I'm sitting by the bed with my head on the bed. And in the morning at 7 a.m., the nurse walks in and says, you weren't supposed to stay here overnight. And I said, no, they told me to stay until the cardiologist came. And she said, well, why didn't you leave? And I said, the cardiologist never came.
Showed up.
And they said, no, a cardiologist came. I said, no, nobody's come in.
So a guy drops dead. And it's like the next day, and they still haven't even had the cardiologist look at me. I'm like, okay. And I think part of it is because they didn't believe that I actually dropped dead. They couldn't figure it out, but I did.
So they come, I'm lying. I'm a liar. I just wanted to sleep by the side of the bed all night. And so the nurse leaves the room and comes back in and says, you're right. There wasn't a cardiologist. Let me page a cardiologist. So they page a cardiologist. Now this is 7 a.m. They take his vitals. He can't eat. He's not allowed to eat until he's seen by a cardiologist, right?
What was it, like 2 in the afternoon? Yeah.
2 p.m. A cardiologist walks in.
So I hadn't eaten, even the previous day, I think I just ate something really quick. So it's like over 24 hours. It's about 24 hours I hadn't eaten.
So the cardiologist comes in and says, we have to do a heart cath right now. Right this moment. Yeah. Like it's now an emergency.
He's like, yeah, he said, I can't believe they haven't done anything with you yet.
Now,
I'm like,
in his defense, he was doing heart caths all morning. So they should have sent someone else in. But when he got done with the heart cath, he comes in and we're doing a heart cath.
Yeah, and he looked at he looked at my chart and history and whatever. So he obviously saw something like, hey, the guy died.
So
the guy died. We got to do something quick here. Figure out what's going on.
How did he hear he was okay?
How did you hear he was okay? How did you feel at that point?
Okay, so
how did you hear that I was okay? We skipped over a lot. So like when I was in the emergency room, I did that group text with the picture to all the kids and Patty. And then you got to come back maybe about a half hour, an hour later.
Thank God you had the heart attack on the baseball field, because you probably could have died at the hospital. Well, and we will talk. That's what I want to talk a little bit about, the baseball field and Perry's relationship to the baseball field.
That's true. Perry, by the way, he's one of our pastors.
Him and his wife are pastors at the church we now attend. We attended that church probably 11 years
10
ago.
or 11 years ago for a few years.
Probably about 11 months off and on. And then we went back to the church that we were at, partly because I don't know why, but we did. And but we are back at this church. So I know that's what you
I was trying
so the cardiologist says 45 minutes. The heart cath will be 45 minutes.
Is that what he told you? Okay.
And
they had two guys, two brutes come into the room, basically take me away. I mean, it was like within 15, 20 minutes of him coming in, they had me out of the room and getting a heart cath. I mean, it was that quick.
So he gets the cardiologist. We're in a waiting room right outside the heart cath lab, and he comes. It's 20 minutes, and I'm thinking, okay, this is bad. It's only been 20 minutes.
Oh, because he came out so quickly.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I'm thinking
she thought I died on the table or something. Okay.
So he comes out and he says, something or someone was looking out for your husband. He should not be here. Let me show you. And he takes me in the back and shows me on a monitor the 3 arteries with complete blockage.
Yeah, I think I had 190, maybe an 80 or something.
No. There were 3 with complete blockage.
Yeah.
And then there's all these little
rivulets
that have formed to try to compensate. So he says, okay, we're going to have to do.
My heart didn't want to die for some reason.
Well, so he says to me, something or someone was watching out. And I said, we know that it was God.
Yeah.
And
that happened repeatedly over the next several days. But jumping back to like what Lewis had mentioned, I know he had done some, on some older patients. But jumping back to the EMT that worked on me, that zapped me back, I'm going to pull this up. I have some notes here on this. This guy, his name was John, like I mentioned. He had been with the department for about 27 years at that time. But
keep going. Keep going.
Well, they're not going to see that.
That's okay.
I wanted to show them the picture. It's Jack with.
No, go.
Anyway, so this guy he had seen about 40 to 50 full cardiac arrests in his time as an EMT. And none had come out with a completely successful outcome. This is what he told me. This was about a year later that I got to talk to him in a lot of detail. None, 40 to 50 full arrests over 27 years, none had come back with a complete success. A few made it to the hospital and maybe died a few days later, things like that. So when he saw me and I'm laying on this baseball field joking and laughing, none of it made sense to them. You're skipping over a lot of my slides here. She's skipping over my slides, Gabe.
Because it's 9:40.
Okay, well, I was planning on going till midnight.
Yeah, well, we're not. Tell him you don't want to go.
You really screwed me.
No, because I want to share some other stuff.
Okay, so
do I have a part in the story?
Yes, you do. In fact, that was what I was trying to have the slides for.
So
because this was the part that I thought you would want to talk about.
No, we don't have to talk about that. That's important.
No, It's important.
We need to get on the same page here. Okay, so anyway, long story short, he has.
But I'm just saying, so this outcome, like you see on some of these medical shows on TV and stuff like that, they zap somebody, they come back, no problem, everything's fine. They do it over and over and over again. It's not as common as you might think. CPR is a great thing, and I hope everybody out there at some point learns it or knows it or has some certification. I got certified a long time ago when I used to coach Little League baseball. But to be down for 15 minutes and to come back didn't make sense, except for God. That's the thing that made sense.
Okay.
And in the hospital, so they did the heart cath. The doctor tells you they need to do some kind of surgery quick. They need to.
So the surgeon comes in. This surgery is scheduled for Monday.
Yeah.
May 4th.
And I think this is an important, since this is a Disney stream here. When I was talking to the heart cath guy real quick before they took me for the heart cath, a possibility was that they were going to put stents in. Okay, that was one possibility. And I asked the guy, I said, "Hey, we're supposed to go to Disney in about 3 or 4 days. My wife has this really important thing she was invited to, social media moms thing." I said, "If you end up doing the stents, can I drive down to Florida and back?" He's like looking at me like, "You don't understand, do you? You died. you might not want to do something like that soon." You're skipping all my slides.
Okay,
she's skipping all my slides, gang.
On May 4th, he has a quadruple bypass. He is recuperating in the hospital within hours. I'm sure that the hospital, they did not know that you were on your phone fixing a client's system. So he's in ICU. There's some complications that night. His temp had risen. And I'm praying.
Quite a bit.
I'm praying. I'm in the room. Nobody else knows what's going on.
Yeah, part of the thing was they weren't even going to let her stay in the room overnight with me, but I requested it. They said if I request it, she can stay in the room overnight, but she can't have her cell phone with her.
We have 4 minutes to finish this up so we can talk about some other stuff.
Oh my
that
goodness.
Had transpired.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so she was not allowed to have her phone turned on or whatever. And I'm laying there, and they were throwing me like an ice packs. They had me literally almost swimming in ice on this bed. And I'll tell you what, I mean, I was really hot. I was very hot. I was probably 102, 103, whatever my temperature. 104. Okay, even more than I thought. When they put me in these ice, and it literally just covered in ice, I was like, man, this feels good.
So, I had some moments where I'm like, okay, my husband comes back from the dead, and I'm sitting here worried about what's on the monitor. I'm watching what's on the monitor, worried.
I can pull that up.
And no.
Yeah.
And at some point I felt God say to me, I did not bring him back from the dead to have him die in ICU. And
and I'll tell you what, I mean, and like she said, it was like, okay, God, you saved me on this baseball field. Why would you're not going to let me, you're not going to let this happen. I know that. You have me here for a reason.
How do you start it?
Let me do that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you have me here for a reason. I know you didn't just bring me back to let me die like 3 days later. But I'll tell you what, first off, I want to say this real quick. This ties in with our sermon yesterday a little bit. When I was going to have my quadruple bypass done, and I've told you this before, when they were going to take me, and even the night before, I had a peace about me. It was God's peace. And after we had that sermon yesterday, God's peace is basically a peace that you can only attain when you give up control. And I know we all have things going on in our world every day. We've got chaotic things going on. We've got, kids to deal with. We've got parents. We've got, work. We've got all kind of stuff going on day to day that you have to control. Oh, I've got to control this. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. But the only way you're going to find real peace in life is through God's peace. Is sometimes you just got to give up that control and not go by what the world is saying, but just let it go, let God handle it. And I still remember the peace I felt the night before, the morning of the surgery. I was just like, God's got this. I know he's got this. And I had no worries whatsoever. It's hard to explain. I know, but but that's how I felt. That's how I felt at that time. And I know God was in control, and that was all that mattered.
Okay. So
he skipped over like 5 of my slides.
So he has.
I might have
surgery.
to do a follow-up show.
He comes home, and we are at today, 6 years later.
But again, you're skipping over a lot of important stuff.
Okay, so here's what I think is important.
Like all the people that kept coming to our room
and saying you should have been dead.
Be dead.
Lots of people kept coming and saying you should be dead, but that's not up to them to decide.
No, and they would say you should be dead, and then we would just sort of point up to heaven basically and say, we know why I'm not dead.
Okay.
God is what's keeping. God is the reason why. But there was one guy, and this is a Disney tie-in for all you Disney people out there. This one guy came into the room at one point after my surgery, as I'm recovering, and he goes, he's just changing, a bag or something,
the saline
solution or sugar drip or whatever it was. He's changing the bag, and he's talking to me. So, so what do you? It's almost like you're in prison. So what are you in for? It's like, okay. And I start to tell him, I said, I was on a baseball field and I dropped dead. And I started to tell him a little, and he just sort of stopped. He said, oh, you're that guy. I know you Disney people know who that guy is. With the Monsters Inc. thing. But yeah, I was that guy to this person.
But you were dead and now you're alive.
Exactly.
Yes. So
and he was like, you're that guy. And I was like, what are you talking about? He said, well, I'm a part-time nurse, but I'm also a part-time EMT. And he said, you don't understand, man. He's like, everybody in the Tri-County area is talking about this case because it's so out there. It doesn't make sense. And then again, I got to witness to this guy and tell him, well, yeah, it does make sense because God said, you're not going anywhere. You're coming back and I'm keeping you here for some reason. So,
okay.
Anyway, it was just amazing how many people we got to talk to just at the hospital about this.
So now here are some of the things I'm going to say. And I have not said this. I've told a few people, but I have not really said this publicly. So
she's got me worried because she says you haven't told me
your
this?
Surgery was on Monday.
Oh, yeah. Wait, another Disney thing. It was on May the 4th. Star Wars fans, May the 4th be with you.
Okay.
That was when I had my surgery. Tomorrow will be the 6-year anniversary of my surgery.
So I, I pretty much was at the hospital for almost 9-10 days,
almost the whole time while I was there.
I went home a couple times and showered quickly, wore a shirt inside out, hit a car in our driveway,
into a car in our driveway, all kind of fun stuff.
So our daughter Melissa was handling Jack and Marcus, and she was working full time and taking them places for other people to watch, and so Sunday morning, I ran home, I showered, I ran to church to pick up the boys. They were at church with Melissa.
Okay.
The people at the baseball field were from church. They had already told a number of people at church. And I'm so glad Jeff's okay. This is what was said to me. I'm so
This
glad
is not our
Jeff,
current church, by the way.
I'm so glad Jeff's okay. And I said, did you hear what happened? And the man said, yes. And I'm so glad he's okay. And I'm thinking, I know the person who told you the story. It was the youth pastor. And he said, Jeff died and we watched God raise a dead man. And Craig
oh my
was
God.
running through the church.
What a great guy. Oh, Craig was the Yankees fan who said he was going to get me a Yankees shirt to replace my Indian shirt. Yeah, good old Craig. I love Craig.
Craig was the man who was running around saying, we watched God raise a dead man, and he is telling everyone.
Oh, my goodness.
He's running through the church telling everyone, and he comes up to me and gives me a great big hug, and he's excited, and he watched God raise a dead man. He's excited.
All the people that were on that baseball field were praying that day, or that night when it happened. They were amazing people, godly men.
So they're excited. They watch God raise a dead man. And the people they're telling, some are coming up to me saying, this is amazing. And others are saying, oh, how nice. I stand in church and they are singing the song. And this song,
and I think I know what song.
This song, In Christ Alone, My Hope is Found. And it's the one line, and I'm so bad with this, the one about the from life's first breath.
I wish you would have let me know. I could have pulled it up or found it. Yeah.
Till final, what from life's first, is it life's first breath till final?
Mary will probably help us out.
Okay. So.
Yes, God is good all the time.
And
all the time.
God is good. So they're singing this song, and I want to get up and scream. This isn't just a song. This is God raises the dead. And it was just the story about Jesus healing the lepers, and only one comes back to thank him. And I have said, let me be that one that comes back and says, thank you. Let me be that one that runs around and tells people, I don't want to be that one. I don't want to be the other 9 who stand there and say, oh, I was healed. I want to be the one who says, I have watched God perform miracle after miracle in my life and in the people's lives around me. And he is a real and living God. And that's who I want to be. That's who I need to be. So the significance of the church and the church, we did not know this at the time. The church baseball field you were on.
Oh.
We did not know this. So Perry, who had left a comment, we had gone to years ago, 11 years or 12 years.
Mary's asking, is that the song? Cornerstone?
No, it's In Christ Alone.
In Christ Alone.
In Christ Alone.
Yeah.
So beautiful song.
It is a beautiful song.
So we're at this church for probably 10, 11 months. And it was at that church that I really felt that my faith exponentially grew as far as miracles. And I mean, I always prayed, but I truly believe that it was with Joy and Perry that my faith to believe for real miracles grew.
Well, and it goes back to that 1 year or so roughly that we were going to their church.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
So we're going, so 11, fast forward to his cardiac arrest. I pray.
And
We
you wouldn't
no-
have prayed like that if it wasn't
Yes.
for them.
But we
You
had
wouldn't
no clue the significance of the ball field. So
Yeah.
about 3 years ago, we start going back to that church.
Yeah.
And part of the reason, we had been at this other church for so many years. Our kids were involved. It was hard to make a break.
Mhm.
But at some point, I wasn't going to church on a regular basis because the church was so big and it was hard for Jack.
Jack had a hard time going there.
And so we find ourselves back at this church with Joy and Perry.
Very small, nice small congregation.
And he tells that they had heard the story of what had happened, but they had never heard the whole story.
And you guys haven't heard the whole story because every time we tell it, there are other pieces that come out that we didn't tell the previous times.
So he's telling the story, and he says, I don't know if you said where the baseball field was.
Probably, yeah.
And that was the church that Perry and Joy were at. When that church was built, they were members. Joy was on staff there, and Perry was on the building committee, and they made the decision to keep those baseball fields. And I have goosebumps saying that. They made that decision to keep those baseball fields, and they prayed over those baseball fields.
Yeah.
And how things come full circle.
Yeah.
To me, that, God was in every aspect of that over how many years?
Well, that was like 10 years ago that my wife, you really did. You learned that whole style of prayer and that from them, as that was the seed that was planted way back then. The fact that they were involved with that church many, many years ago when it was there originally, and they were part of the staff and prayed over that field, their church and them. And then, the fact that my wife didn't want me to go to that practice that night. The guy who did CPR on me, his wife didn't want him to go to that practice that night. There were just so many, and I don't.
Says God is so good,
God
and
is
He
so
is,
good. And you are so good too, Perry. And it's like, I don't believe in coincidences or luck or fate or whatever you want to call it. God has a plan, and one of the things, I still don't know exactly why I'm here. I know I'm here for a good reason. And part of it is this Disney thing. I remember being in the emergency room that night at the hospital, feeling good. I was feeling good. And, after my wife and my family came, what's Mary saying? So neither of you listen.
No. And he then throws that up that, look, if I had listened to you.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had, I might be dead now. But then you having that faith to pray that specific prayer, to say to the youth pastor, are they praying? He says, yeah, everybody's praying. And you saying, keep praying, God raises the dead. And then it was within a minute or two after that, I was back. But I remember being in the emergency room, my wife and family, they'd all come in and, gotten to come in and say hi. And then some of the guys from the baseball team had come in, the youth pastor, Pastor Sean, Matt, the guy who did the compressions, Jack, I wasn't able to make it, but Jack was the guy who did the breathing for me. Anyway, and then the one guy who told me about the Walt drill thing, was there telling me how they drilled my leg and all this stuff. Nice. But as I was there and I was talking to the youth pastor, I distinctly, I still remember this because I probably told it so many times.
No.
But you were there. I know you were there. And I looked at Sean and I just, it was a heartfelt thing. I was sincerely saying to him, you know, Sean, and he told me, he said, after they took me away, the guys got in a group, they prayed. There were some people that were from other teams and stuff that were around on one of the other practice fields that came over as well. Some of the people who were like grounds crew and helped out and stuff like that. Never listen to your wife. That's a good moral, Perry.
No.
No. That's not the message here, guys. But so the youth pastor told me they got together, they prayed, mostly a bunch of believers there, but there were some people that weren't. And he said there were people that came to Christ that night because of that event. And he told me that, and I said, Sean, you know what? If I die right now, I'm okay with that. If I don't make it through this, I'm okay with that, as long as even one person was led to Christ through that event happening to me. But God did keep me here for a reason, and I'm so happy that we got to start this Disney thing, to be on, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff. And then in the last few years doing these live streams every Monday. We love coming to you guys, and we love you guys watching us and joining in on the fun. Sandy saying, what a story. Bless you for sharing, Jeff. We should all thank Jesus each day as he died for us, so we could be free for eternity as long as you accept Jesus as your Savior. You got it right on there, Sandy. But I think that's part of the reason why I'm
so good. Wait. Perry, don't encourage him. But Perry is our pastor. He's supposed to be encouraging guys. We are all glad God kept you here too. Thank you, Annette.
Well, and a lot of weeks, we do the show. Me and Marcus are usually the ones doing the show. My wife joins in on occasion. Jack joins in on occasion on our Monday night shows. But all of a sudden, and this has happened over the years, but all of a sudden, the last few weeks, I've had at least 3 people message me. And
he doesn't on a regular basis, does not cry often.
I never really cried before.
Oh, before this?
Before 6 years ago, before
Twice,
this all happened.
Twice I saw him cry in 20, well, that would have been 31 years of marriage, plus the 4 years we were together, almost 4 years before that.
I get emotional now. I never used to. I know God changed me in that way.
But I mean, don't encourage him to not listen to Patty. Oh, yes, Mary.
But I have had several.
We appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Katie, and I know God kept me here for that reason, to try and get the message out, to try and be a light in a dark world sometimes, to bring a little joy, to bring a little fun for our family, to be out there. My wife with Jack, with the Mother's Random Thoughts, trying to encourage families. With children on the autism spectrum,
or just homeschooling moms,
or homeschooling
or even moms,
or so being a part of this Disney community has been a big deal for us, and we really appreciate you guys out there watching.
Annette said she had a death experience too. We're gonna have maybe we should just do some shows about death.
Do a life and death recovery show. But it, all of a sudden in the last few weeks, and I've had other people other times, but all of a sudden in the last few weeks, I've had several people private message me and basically let me know that our family has meant a lot to them, has really inspired them, that just us being out there in the Disney community has been a blessing. We really appreciate when you guys tell us that.
Thank you, Mary.
It means a whole lot, and it really helps us to keep doing what we're doing. And I just want to say thank you for watching us all these weeks, months, years, however long you've been watching us. Thank you for being part of our family, our extended family.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Mary. Look at, I'm so glad I found you both. I'm going to cry. One day we have to meet in person. I feel like I know you.
I hope
very
we do,
well.
Mary. I hope something works out for this year with the 50th anniversary. Keep praying for that to happen. We got the reservations. We just need the money. God will handle it, though. I'm sure we're going to be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
He always.
As long as that full-time job comes through, I'll be in good shape.
Eternal optimist. It's going to be fine.
No. Like I said, God's had our back for so many things over the course of our lives. If He can bring someone back to life, bring me back to life, me of all people.
And Melissa, I cried when I read her story about her engagement. You're blessed.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, so many things that. That granddaughter that I showed you the picture of earlier on, she was born literally just 2 weeks before all this happened, 2.5 weeks.
And getting to go to Disney with her.
Oh, we had to take her and her younger sister.
We didn't take them, but we went with them.
We met them with their parents back in February. And we got to take them to Disney. That was such a blessing. But all the grandkids that have been born since then, all the moments that have happened since then, I thank God every day. I really do. When I wake up in the morning, that's the first thing I think of is I'm here for another day. Thank you for letting me.
And then he looks at me.
Oh, no. And I look at you and I'm even more thankful.
Okay. Obviously, we haven't met, but I know in my heart you are a good, God-loving people. And I have felt comfortable with you from day one. I knew you were different and trustworthy.
Thanks, Holly.
And Mary says the first time she posted about him, I knew he was the one. Well, she has posted about so few young men. Seeing Disney through a child's eyes is amazing. It truly is.
It is. It was so fun watching them the first time, walking in the Magic Kingdom. Even in the parking lot, we actually got to meet them in the parking lot at the Magic Kingdom, and
they didn't know we were going to be there.
And we were within about 10 or 15 cars parked within each other, and that was cool. We got there at almost the exact same time, got parked near each other, and then they saw us, and we were running to each other. Oh, it was so fun. It was so fun. And I just think I'm so thankful.
I will never forget Nevaeh getting so excited about the castle and saying her version of the word castle. And God uses experiences that you wouldn't think. I think of some of the people we've met at Disney and just the connections and Sandy saying, hit like, please, and subscribe to this great family. Thank you, Sandy. So,
Sandy, we appreciate you. We really do.
We do.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So the song In Christ Alone. Now, I'm not going to.
I can bring the words up if you want.
You can. Go ahead.
Let me look it up. It's a great song.
That's the song that was. I was standing in a church praying for a miracle, but not your miracle.
Okay.
For someone else, and that song was playing, and I could not actually say the words, and so. This was before. And I'm sobbing as the song is playing, and I'm crying out to God.
Here you go. Here are the words.
And I got a phone call.
Sandy was right, though. She was saying this cornerstone, or I think she mentioned that line, this cornerstone.
Let me see. It's right here. What's the title? It's In
Christ Alone. Yeah.
Okay. So,
oh, Kelly's out there. Kelly, I'm glad you were out there. Glad to see you.
Go down. No guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to final breath, Jesus commands my destiny. No power of hell, no scheme of man can ever pluck me from his hand till he returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I'll stand. And it was a couple years before his. I had heard the song before.
That song always gets me.
So a couple years before your cardiac arrest, I am standing in a church. This song is playing. I am trying to sing it, and I cannot get the words out because of the situation I was praying for, and it was a horrific. And I got a phone call while I am crying out to God, and the person had been found.
Yeah.
And so that song had deep meaning for me already. And then for that to be the song that was playing at church after your cardiac arrest, and the no guilt in life, no fear in death. It's just such a powerful song. Just so powerful.
Yeah. No, that gets me every time. It really it does. I tear up every time I sing that song.
So those are my thoughts.
Those are your thoughts.
And
I like how Kelly said our
fearless leader. So
I'm not so fearless, but I'll take that.
I am going to say a few more words and then I'm going to be done.
Are you?
Okay. So I don't know. I know what God has called me to do. And while tears understand, as certain songs have done that to me, it is the spirit and faith. Yes. So I know what God has called me to do. And I am trying to walk that out. And I mean, obviously, I am a child of God, and I'm a wife, and I'm a mother. But I do know that I am to encourage. I have part of a book written, a devotional for moms. I know that I am supposed to be in this social media arena encouraging. I get frustrated because you don't know what you're supposed to be doing.
Because I don't know exactly what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm still trying to figure it all out. I may be the fearless leader, but I'm not sure what I'm doing here.
But I get frustrated, and I can only see my life. And I wish I could see more. God is good and healing. I had a kidney transplant in 1984. It is still working. They're not as good as it should be right now. Okay, Steve, we are praying. We are praying for the kidney. And for 1984, that's the year we got married.
That's the year we got married, Steve. We got married in 1984. So
transplants only last, yes.
10 years, and I've had 36. That is a miracle right there in my mind. Yeah. That is awesome. That is amazing. But yeah, we are, and Katie's praying. We'll all be praying for you, Steve, for healing and for a positive outcome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I can't always see, and I get frustrated. I will be the first to admit I get frustrated with, because I think it should also be.
It never shows when we're on air together, does it? Oh man, Sandy needs prayer too.
Yes.
We're not sure exactly what the needs are, but we will definitely. I mean, we'll pray for you right now for whatever needs Sandy has right now. We just ask you to bless her family, her situation, and Sandy, if you can, at some point, doesn't have to be on here, but if you want to message me at some point and let me know what those needs are, we'd be happy to pray for those specific needs, and we just ask God to be with you, and in Jesus' name, amen. But
She
yeah,
said
this
she
is
needs prayers for a miracle, and we believe in miracles. We really, I mean,
I've been, and this is the humbling part. I mean, people after this happened were calling me, walking miracle, manifestation of the risen Christ. I mean, people were saying all these things to me, and I was just like, I'm just a person. God did this. Don't put it on me. I'm just a normal person, and God did this. Please, but I mean, I appreciate, and I tried to take it all in. But the thing was, I thought about later was, I'm just a normal person, but I am a child of God. And as one of God's children, there's a lot of power in that. There really is.
okay. So Perry, Lord, we ask that you heal Steve's kidney. Thank you for 36 years, but we ask that you extend that even further.
Absolutely. We ask that in Jesus' name.
And Sandy says, God's got me, but can always use prayers. Yes. Amen.
Absolutely. And it does definitely does not hurt, and it definitely helps.
Kelly says, God works through humans. He knows he can reach others. Thank you, Perry. I appreciate that. And, I sometimes I tend to think, you're sitting up here playing.
I'm sitting up here playing. Yes, I'm playing, guys.
He's playing. He is just playing. He's putting together a slideshow. He's playing.
Yeah.
I'm working. I work hard. He's playing. Just like when you went to that softball game.
When I went to that softball game, the one softball practice, it's practice. Church softball practice. There's guys out there that do a lot of things, and here I was. Not going out drinking. I don't do that. I was going to a church softball practice. What could go wrong? But no, seriously, that was my outlet. I mean, that was pretty much all I did, other than be here with you guys. That was my one.
No.
Getaway.
You ushered at church.
Oh, I ushered at church.
I'm gonna throw that up in his face. And the thing is,
look, Sandy said I'm staying out of your hair.
He said
up here, when I'm playing.
No, the thing is, even 6 years ago,
Holly.
I was super grumpy earlier for no reason, sitting outside listening while painting baseballs.
Baseboards.
Baseballs.
Painting baseballs.
This story was definitely a mood lifter. Thank you for sharing. Well, thank you, Holly. Thank you. So,
you can have peace and quiet for at least an hour.
But the thing is, 6 years ago, Jack was 10, and I didn't go to church many weeks. And I was very much, besides my online stuff, very much cut off from the world, because, I mean, even a trip to the grocery store at that point was many days horrific. We don't talk about it because we don't talk about it.
Because we try to be positive people.
Yes, but the thing is, I'm.
And thank you, and everybody was in the place that God had them that day. It was not chance whatsoever.
Oh, so Kelly doesn't know. She's asking if you got hit. No, he didn't get hit.
No. This was softball. The youth pastor, that's right. He was lobbing the pitch in, and it did. It came inside a little bit, but I'm talking about if it had hit me in the arm or it hit me in the head, I wouldn't have even gotten bruised by it. No, I literally the ball came a little inside, and I stepped back, and I was getting ready to chuck this thing over to right field. My mind was telling me I was all ready to do it. And then that was the last thing, Kelly. That was the last thing I remembered. And the guys after the fact told me I did a 360 and then just hit the ground. That was it.
Okay.
The ball didn't even hit me.
Understand God led me back to church 10 years ago. Now, one of the reasons I wasn't going to church wasn't because I didn't want to go. I wasn't going because Jack
was
could not go most weeks.
It was a difficult thing to have him at church a lot of Sundays.
The one thing I do when there's no COVID is Golden Knights of Columbus meetings and parish council meetings.
There you go.
And
yeah. And does Mary give you a hard time about that, Steve? If she does, you tell her about that. You just remind her about this.
Same for my experience. The right people were there.
Oh my goodness, we got to talk sometime. And that.
Oh, if you got the ball.
Oh.
If you got the ball, or did you just whiff?
Did I hit it? No, I whiffed. They told me I whiffed. I didn't hit it, unfortunately. That would have been even more amazing if I actually popped it in the right center field, right where I was
Mary's
going for.
glad to get him out of her hair.
But
see,
wait, you see
here's
that?
The thing.
You see that down there?
Yeah.
You see it? Can you reach it?
What?
Can you reach it?
What?
Or no, I got it. It's on my side. Never mind. Hold on. One second.
You see it? Oh,
it's usually over there, and Marcus or Jack usually play with it. But you're not going to be able to see it real well because of the green screen, because it's a greenish ball. But yeah, this softball was not from that night, but this was actually from 2 years later. I felt good enough before the end of the season was out that I wanted to play. Some people didn't want me to.
Like the guys on the field?
Like the guys on the field were trying to keep me from playing. But by the end literally, I was ready to play before the season ended.
Wait.
What?
Kelly said that would have been 2 miracles that night.
What?
You hitting the ball.
Oh, thanks. But this ball, okay, so that was 2015. I didn't get to play that season because the church probably didn't want me to play. 2017 we had played a season, or 2016 we played a season. Yeah, go ahead, put it on my head. Just put it where my brain should be, and it's not really there. 2016 I played that season. 2017 we played that season, and we got into the championships. I wanted to pitch all season long, but they wouldn't for whatever reason. And it wasn't the youth pastor; it was somebody else coaching the team at the time. And I kept saying, I know how to pitch. I want to pitch. Can I pitch? I want to pitch. Please let me pitch. I want to pitch.
How does that work? I don't know what that is.
How does that work? I'm not sure what that is either.
I can't imagine that they would want you back on the team. That's a lot of drama.
They were a little leery about maybe a cardiac arrest guy coming back within a few months and playing a few games.
Although the doctor said he could.
The doctor gave me the clearance. He said, you're good to go. In fact, that was the thing too. That was one of the questions I asked the doctor before I got my quadruple bypass. I said, okay,
this is important,
Disney fans.
Night.
This is important. Remember this. I said, Doc, if I get this surgery, will I still be able to ride the rides at Disney World? No joke. I literally asked the doctor that before I got my surgery. And he said, you know what? When we do the bypass, he said, your heart is healthy. I know, I got to get back to the ball. Your heart is healthy. And we're just basically opening up the arteries or rerouting and adding, new arteries there. And veins, they actually did too. To basically get the circulation going again to it. And I'll tell you what, after I had that surgery, I felt great. I mean, I had rehab, obviously, but I felt great. I mean, and even to this day, I'm not winded by things that used to, like I would run or do stuff and I get winded easily. Thought I was getting old. I felt great. But that was the big thing
about how this is working. The ball is green.
Oh, the ball is green. Sort of like this card that I have. It's a green card and we have a green screen behind us. And so wherever I put the card, it basically shows what's in the background. And so the ball does about the same thing. It's sort of like that lime. It's that weird green, though. It's not exactly green. But this ball, 2017, okay, we went through the whole season. I didn't pitch one game. He wouldn't let me pitch one game. But I played first. I played second. I played outfield. I played
and he's
catcher.
going to tell you every position he played if he can remember him.
So we got into the championship. We were the team. We had to be beaten twice in the tournament to lose. We had to be beaten twice. The other team we just had to beat once. Okay, so we're playing them. They have to beat us 2 times to win the championship. All we had to do is win one. First game, we were getting shelled. I mean, it was like something ridiculous. We were going to get mercy ruled. It was like 20-4, 20-5 or something like that. And the one guy, I just sort of half mentioned to one of the guys on the team. I said, at this point, they might as well put me in the pitch because it can't do any worse. And I'm sitting in the dugout, and the coach points at me and says, "You're pitching." I'm like, "What? Seriously? I haven't warmed up. I haven't thrown a pitch all year. You're going to have me pitch now." I go into the game. I start pitching. I finish the game. Now, we still got mercied, but I finished the game, and I think they scored maybe one more run on me, okay? In a few innings of pitching. So now we lost that game. That means now we're down to the wire. The last game, we had to win this game to win the championship. The other team wins the game. They win the championship. And they kept me in the pitch that entire game. And I pitched. And I pitched. And I made even a few good defensive plays, too, with a couple of quick nabs.
Did you guys win the game?
We won the game. And this is the game ball right here. Championship 2017. Winning pitcher, baby. Right here. Right here.
And you know what? Next year, if he says the same thing, I'm probably going to say, "Did you win the game?"
Winning pitcher. So that's another reason why God kept me here. To win a championship.
Do you really believe that?
That was the whole word. No, that's not the reason he kept me here. What are you talking about?
Okay. At least he understands.
But I'll tell you what.
Okay, so now here are the important things I am going to tell you about.
Oh, man.
Perry.
What's Perry saying?
Perry's saying we're both so great, so much fun. Thanks for sharing each of your unique vantage points of the same story. God is a miracle working God. Yes. So I actually believe at some point we're supposed to probably do something together, not related to you dropping dead.
No, probably not.
But
Abbott and Costello, maybe?
But the problem is
Laurel and Hardy. Which one?
The problem is we can't get on the same page.
Can you believe that?
Yes.
You're going to diss me like
that?
No,
here, because you won't accept my strengths.
I accept your strengths. Let's shake right now.
Well, no, because you're a control freak.
I do tend to control.
You're a control freak, and I'm not putting up with it.
Okay. Well, I've only clicked the thingamajigger here a few times. Okay.
So
you've done most of the clicking. I've let you run the thing here.
After I yelled.
Well, okay. So I accepted your strength. There you go.
Oh, he accepted the fact that I could hold a mouse.
Jeez.
So are
you going to get to these? Or
do I got to click off of this.
Well, then you can do this one.
Yeah.
There you
Next year, we'll already know who won the game. You will know, but I won't remember.
Oh, my goodness.
Yet one day he will, God willing. What? Win the game? I think that's win the game. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Day by day.
Or maybe I'll accept your strengths.
Okay. Okay, so.
She's a good woman.
Well, thank you. I think we work well together when we work well.
We can. We can also butt heads a bit, but, you know.
When you allow me.
To take everything over.
No, when you allow me to work in my strengths.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You've got some very good strengths.
And I try to allow you to do the things that you're strong in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like called a team. It's a team.
Is it this thing? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. What are you doing with your hand?
You're doing this
thing. Creepy.
You're going like this. You say we're doing like, you know.
Okay. So there was one more thing I was going to talk about.
Uh-oh. I better not. I'll stay quiet so you can figure it out.
I can't figure it out because you interrupted me. Do you know today I was trying to remember something and could not remember. It was coming out of my mouth and
I hate when that happens.
And as the words are coming out of my mouth, I forgot.
I hate that.
Katie says we're funny. Okay, so let me tell. Oh, okay. So Holly wants to know what happened to the Disney.
That's a
Mom
very
event.
good question, Holly. Very
So
good question.
now
So no, we didn't get to go.
we
that
didn't
year.
get to go, but I called. No, this is a funny part of the story.
Yeah, the very funny
He's
part.
in the hospital, scheduled for
For
open
quadruple
heart,
bypass.
quadruple
Yeah.
bypass, and he's telling me to go.
I said, you
You
need to go to
go.
this
You-
thing.
we-
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Take your sister and go.
Yeah, take your sister. Go down to that thing. You really need to go. I mean, and you know, Holly, I mean, to get invited to this, it's called the Disney Social Media Mom Celebration. They only invite about 100, 150 roughly people per year to this event, and they don't have the event anymore. Unfortunately, they did away with it a couple of years ago. They have the creator days now, which they really cut it back a lot. But about 150 people all across the country, world for that matter, that they would invite that are involved in. So you're bumping that. Just click right there. There you go. That are involved with social media, not necessarily Disney, but
So he's trying to tell the doctor.
Big deal.
This is a big deal. My wife.
We were like freaking out. Like,
well, no, you
is
tried to first tell the cardiologist that we should.
She said,
we
I would say the same thing.
We should go,
Yeah.
and he'll have the heart cath when he gets back.
Yeah. Before I even had the heart cath, there was the heart cath doctor, and then there was the surgeon. But I'm talking the heart cath doctor who was trying to get me to get a heart cath like in 30 minutes because I'm gonna, I talked to him and I'm like, okay, doctor. I said, if I promise, we really need to go on this trip. We really do. We really need to go on this trip. If I promise to get the heart cath when we get back, is that okay? And that was the moment he looked at me and he just said, I don't think you understand. You died. We need to figure out what happened to you.
I never heard of it.
It was a cool event. Really
audio
cool.
is good, but video is glitchy. I think people are saying it's Facebook. Bargaining, yes, bargaining. He was good at bargaining. Okay, so
yes, Mary.
So
yeah, we heard a few people say that the Facebook was
glitchy.
And I've heard a few things about Facebook being a little glitchy.
Okay. But
yeah.
I contacted the people at Disney and told them what happened, and they said that they would invite me back the next year. Mm-hmm. So in 2016, we went, and I was invited back in 2017 and 2018. So we did go 3 times.
Yeah, and they usually only invite you maybe once.
Well,
twice.
there are people that have been invited more. And it was quite an honor, and it was. And
that was the last time they did it, wasn't it? 2018. Then they did the Disney Creators in 2019.
Yes,
and in 2020, obviously.
I think they've invited people, but not the same.
Yeah.
And so that was.
They were some awesome events. They really were. They really were.
Yeah, behind the scenes things. We did a party at Typhoon Lagoon.
Oh yeah,
after hours.
It was a nighttime party,
and they had fireworks for us and
some nighttime things in Animal Kingdom. Before Animal Kingdom had nighttime,
we saw the Rivers of Light.
We saw the Rivers of Light before it was released. Yeah.
And the nighttime riding Expedition Everest before they ever had it open. Yeah. We saw Pandora. Road Avatar.
Yeah, that's right. We got the well, no, that wasn't for that though. We did that because of annual passes. We did a preview day because we had annual passes at that time.
Oh, okay. No, but we did do
but yeah, the Expedition Everest riding it at night was cool because it was before Animal Kingdom started to stay open at night. They hadn't done that before, and we were sort of like the guinea pigs, I guess. And we got to try it out and do different things at night at Animal Kingdom. And then it was like a few months later, they started to open it up to the public for nighttime.
The Star Wars, they had a dessert party. And that was really
Symphony,
before.
Star Wars Symphony of the...
That was like either right
Symphony
at the beginning of them starting the dessert parties or like maybe... And it was. We got to see...
No, Steve is saying YouTube is fading in and out. Can you see it fading in and out, Steve? Or just hear it?
Mary said some of those events were amazing. I did an event at night at
She got to do a
Kingdom
nighttime
before they
Animal
were
Kingdom?
ever open late.
That's cool. Yeah, it was. Oops, I'm sorry. I was trying to-
Katie says she has to get up at 5 a.m. Good night, sweet dreams.
Thanks, Katie.
So there was one more thing Steve can't say.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Holly was saying good, and Steve. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, it was fading, wasn't it?
What was the thing that was on my tongue that I was one last thing I was going to say?
That we got to do with the social media?
No,
thing?
no.
I don't know. You said you were gonna. You forgot. It's gonna drive you crazy, isn't it? It's gonna drive her crazy.
Yes, it is. So the bottom line in all of this is I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm trying to do.
Okay, so Kelly's saying that YouTube is fading in and out, and Facebook is freezing. That's not good. I mean, our connection seems pretty good here. Not sure what's going on. Not sure.
But I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I guess we could ask for prayer that you know what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Or that you have some like aha moment or something. Because I think you struggle with that. I think he struggles with it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're getting weird. Like some people are saying there's a problem. Some people are saying it's not. Sandy says it's good for her. She's on YouTube. Holly's not having problems with YouTube, and she had issues with Facebook. So yeah, it could be. I know with StreamYard, several times over the last couple of weeks now, they've had like a little notice that says there have been issues with Facebook. We're trying to work them out.
There was some group issues.
Yeah,
okay.
But it was something else going on with it.
So I am going to sign off and make sure my children are okay. And then I have some work I have to get done because not all of us can sit in front of StreamYard talking.
And Steve is saying it's glitchy on YouTube, but that could also be if they have some weather things going on.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's 10:37. Can you sign off in 2 minutes?
I will try to do that. Can I sign off in 2 minutes? I think I can.
Should we have a bet? So I have been posting on Instagram.
Yes, you have.
And I will be handling the Instagram. I'll be handling the gram.
You will? Okay.
And
she's talking about WDWpov Instagram.
Yes.
Which we do. I post there once in a while too. But she's going to try. She's going to take it over and have fun with that one.
And I will be.
Blessings, Kelly. Blessings.
I wanted to. We do have the popcorn bucket, but I wanted to have some solid post on Instagram before posting the bucket.
Right.
So I will be posting the.
Oh yeah, Steve is saying we got to go on a cruise. We got to go on 2 cruises actually.
Yes.
2017 and 18. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And how they did that for those events, it was crazy. I mean, that us and all these other people got to go on these cruises for.
Now I would like to.
That was fun.
I think it's the weather in general.
It
okay.
Could be.
Okay. So Mary says I've been slacking on posting, so busy with moving.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. You, well, you did find, she actually found a few hidden gems of Disney things in her, as she was packing. So that's always good.
So,
thank you, Sandy. You too.
So I will be posting at some point. The goal is this week to get the post, but I have to get the pictures. It's all about getting the right pictures. And we do not have a great setup for taking great pictures. And I'm being completely honest here. Many
You've gone past my 2-minute limit.
I know. Many influencers will take an item and they buy like accessories to take pictures with, and I don't do that. I don't spend a lot of money on anything. Like I have the same pictures that have been on my wall for 20 years. I don't buy new arrangements for the table. I don't redo shelves with little knickknacks. I'm not into that.
By the way, one of our pictures in our family room has a hidden Mickey in it, even though it was in the original painting. Just a little tidbit out there.
Yeah, Mary, see, the thing is, I would never do that. I wouldn't buy stuff to take pictures and then return it. I would never do that.
That's not right.
And you're right. They probably do that.
Yeah.
But
or they get some jewelry or something, like you said, the accessories and.
Well, no, I meant for taking like pictures with like pies and cakes and cookies and things like that. But you know,
some of the fashion influencer type people, they have expensive this and that. Yeah, they probably do the same. They probably return it. And,
so I can't do that.
That's not.
But
we wouldn't.
Trying to figure out how to take this popcorn bucket so it looks. I'd love to have a little popcorn machine thing, and then.
Maybe if I tap that, Steve, let me know if you hear this. Okay.
So
I don't know what's going on. It's got to be on your
So
end.
I will be. My goal is to get the popcorn bucket picture posted this week, and it will be a giveaway for like maybe 5 days or something.
Okay. And thank you for being with us tonight. Thanks for hanging in there. It was a long show. But yeah, we got to talk on that. I sort of remember you saying something about like a life and death thing going on at some point, but yeah, we should talk about that sometime. Anyway, and just jumping back to Sandy's comment here. She says she doesn't like Instagram, but can go to it. Yeah, we've got, we WDWpov, Sandy, we're pretty much everywhere. I mean,
we're not on TikTok.
We're not on TikTok, and somebody else took it. Do you believe that? Somebody else took WDWpov, and it's some stupid thing. But we had a chance to take it. I didn't take it. I thought TikTok was stupid, and I didn't do it.
It is.
But anyway, so yeah.
You don't have Snapchat.
I don't have a Snapchat. But
do you have a Twitch?
I do. I have a Twitch account. Everything's WDWpov, so it's easy to remember. 6 letters. But, Facebook, we have a group and a page. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I feel like I'm missing something. We have a website, which, again, has been vastly underutilized. We don't put stuff on it as much as we should, but I should. What else? Instagram, Twitter. We have Twitch, which we don't really use much either.
YouTube.
But it's all the same thing, 6 letters.
So there will be some changes, probably not so much to the WDWpov, but for those of you who know, I did change the one Instagram account to Adventures. I think it's Adventures_Jack.
Oh yeah. So yeah, she just So yeah, if you get a chance, you want to see stuff about Jack. Adventures_Jack.
I think I'm going to have him try to start.
And that's only
posting.
Instagram, right? That's only Instagram.
I own adventureswithjackjack.com.
Okay.
But we don't have a website. I don't know.
There's another website I was thinking about, and I got to talk to you about it. I just found it. It's just a goofy way. You know what happened is I was getting ready for the show. I was looking for pictures and stuff, and I jumped back to 2015 when you and Melissa, that Disney bounding thing I showed the one picture of. I found the videos that you and Melissa did together that we did, and you guys mentioned like a website, although I don't think we ever got it. But I'm going to check to see if it's available, and if it is, we should grab it. We should grab it. Anyway,
okay, so Steve says, Jeff, you need to start doing YouTube videos about space, and there are many.
I really should have. Steve.
You still should. There are many things that Jeff is good at: building rockets, flying rockets, space program. more rockets,
More rockets.
astronaut stuff.
I like modeling and
Stars. Ask him about stars. And when you point to something outside in the sky and he tells you, no, it can't be that star, he will. My sister kept saying that there was a star and it was a certain star. And he said, no, it isn't.
Oh no,
It's
that's a
not."
planet. That's not a star. That's Jupiter.
And
Or
that
that's
star
Saturn.
wouldn't
or,
even be in that position in the sky at this point. Like,
Oh yeah, I do have a clubhouse too, Mary. I do have a clubhouse.
I don't like Clubhouse.
I jumped on
all
there a
the
few
people who
times. I
say
haven't
they
done a
like
lot.
Clubhouse.
There's
I
a
don't-
lot of, you know what? There was, who was it? Oh my goodness, I can't think of his name now, but it was like a big Disney exec person.
Oh,
Was on Clubhouse the other day doing a little group. He jumped on just for a few minutes, and I popped on there. But no, a Clubhouse is interesting. But we do have a Clubhouse as well.
But Clubhouse is like a radio channel.
Well, that's what podcasts are, though. True podcasts are like a radio
I
thing.
don't listen to podcasts either. Don't turn them on. You didn't hear that, did you? There are a lot of adventures with Jack on. It's adventures_Jack Jack.
Yeah, adventures_Jack Jack. On only Instagram only, but you say you have well, whatever.
I have adventureswithjackjack.com as a website, but okay, which one? Here, give me your phone.
What are you looking for?
The Instagram.
Okay,
so Jack Jack's picture.
Yeah, I'll get into it. So
where is it?
that's what I was saying. I'll get into it so you don't have to look.
So
Make it easier. There you go. And you can hit search.
Okay.
Apparently you were the last thing I was looking at. Yeah, I was looking at your post about the insurance thing with David. It was right there. It was right there.
It's adventures_Jack Jack.
Here, I'll even try and see if we can get it on the camera here.
Oh, she said she found it.
Oh, okay, good. But yeah, there it is. If you can see that, adventures_Jack Jack, and not a whole bunch of people yet, but it actually you've got like another 20 or 30 followers in the last week or something.
Yeah, he was making butter.
He does some fun things.
He's dancing. I did a lot of video. He wears that shirt a lot.
He does wear that shirt a lot.
He must like it. When it's clean, he wears it.
You told me I had 2 minutes left. You were going to leave, and I had 2 minutes. You lied. You're a big fat liar. You just lied to me.
Okay, yeah. I'm leaving. It's been wonderful.
But anyway,
And,
we had fun. We laughed. We cried. We got serious. We joked around. We did a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
just a little bit of this.
Yeah. But we enjoyed it, and we hope you guys did too. And thanks for hanging out.
We sort of matched tonight.
We do a little bit.
We do.
I got one of my favorite shirts on. I got my Por favor, Montego de Hablas Cuentas or Puertas, whatever. I can't say it right. What's Sandy say? Please help. Please. Thank you, Sandy. Please help share channel with friends to get their watch hours. Help their channel grow. Thank you, Sandy. You've been a really big advocate for us, and we appreciate that. And like I said, you probably single-handedly boosted us from about 3,450 or 3,500 watch hours up to 3,700. And we got to hit 4,000 to get to that magic thing. Now, it's a little weird. Facebook lags behind even a few days before they.
Well, I'm leaving.
Okay, I'll explain it to Sandy real quick. But yeah, they lag behind a little bit. Good night, by the way. I'll be down in a moment. I'll be down in just a couple minutes. 2 minutes. I've got 2 minutes. But yeah, so Facebook or YouTube sort of lags behind a little bit on the reported hours. So like I won't see what's going on today so much until tomorrow. Sometimes it's 48 hours of lag. But the cool thing is, we're at 37. We're at 3720, something like that right now. Once you hit 4,000, I think they take about a month before they get back to you on it. So even at that point, we're going to have to still probably wait another month until YouTube does officially gives us the go ahead and says you are part of the the magic 4,000 hours and over 1,000 subscribers thing. So looking forward to it. That'll be cool. Steve is saying that YouTube is back to normal, not choppy. Yeah, I got to imagine for the most part, it seemed like I think the issues were mostly localized with you guys. I think, I know Mary was saying you guys have tornado warnings and storms and stuff going through there. We had rain all day long here too, but it was pretty much just like a steady, heavy rain, but it was just, no lightning, thunder, nothing, no wind, not much of that. Yeah, Sandy. You know what? We've worked on it for years. I did slack off a lot myself. I didn't post anything for a while. I guess I was being Mr. Perfectionist, and at one point I just said, you know what? I've got this raw video out there. I'm not going to spend a lot of time editing it and making it look perfect and stuff. I'm just going to start throwing this stuff out there because, it's raw. It's who we are. It's real life. Basically, it's real life. So that's what I started doing. So I started getting more videos and more videos out. But yeah, 2020 sort of hammered us a bit. Our watch time, we were over 4,000 hours watch time in 2018 and I think 2019 and early on in 2020. And then everything just went down the tubes. So we still, because it's a 365-day period from today, that extends into that lull or that low point of our watch time, which occurred in 2020. So as you and other people watch us more, that helps build up our current watch time, like today and tomorrow and the next day's watch time up higher, while we're dropping off some of those lower numbers from 365 days ago, which might have been here. So these days are dropping off and the higher ones are coming on. So the more that happens, the more days go by, the more our watch time starts to ratchet up. So good. It's all good. But we appreciate it, Sandy. I mean, yeah, you killed the hours. I mean, you were doing you were killing the watch time, man. You were just like bringing it up really good. So I do think, and yeah. So you've helped others with trying to get their watch time up. We appreciate it. And I'm sure they do too. Sandy's weather is good though, by the way. And ours, I think, is actually clearing up. So that's also good. Thank you for that, Sandy. But oh man, I'm just like my wife now. I lost my thought. I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, so our watch time has been ratcheting up, which is good. It's dropping off some of those lower numbers from 365 days ago in 2020, which had been some bad watch time for us, unfortunately. So as time goes by, it starts to go up. And as more people like Sandy are watching, prolifically, thank you, that helps out as well. So anyway, I'm going to get downstairs to my wife. And Steve said, I didn't hear a word you said, Miss Patty. Well, if it was within the last 2 or 3 minutes, probably because she wasn't here, but that's just, I'm sorry if you didn't, Steve, but maybe you can try. This will help with our watch time, number one. You could try to listen to it on the replay, either on Facebook or YouTube, but preferably YouTube so we get some watch time in there. But yeah, check it out after your weather clears and see. I'm more curious myself just to see if it was more pinpointed at your area because of the weather. Check it out, a little bit of the replay, see if parts of the show that you couldn't hear for some reason or another are okay at that point. I hope they are. Anyway, Sandy, good night. And again, thank you, bless you, and we will continue to pray for you. And if you ever want to message me or something, if you have any details you want to lay out that we can pray for specifically, please do. We'll be here for you. And again, thank you for asking people to share it out. It really helps. Yeah, Mary, again, I hope it is just the weather there. But hopefully you guys are getting past this, the warnings, and hopefully things settle down for you at this point. So we'll just stay safe, and everybody that hung in there, we appreciate you being out there. It's been a long night, not quite as long as 2 weeks ago. That was a 3.5-hour show. This one's a little under 3 hours, but we love being here. We love having you guys as part of our family, and we will just, have a magical week. And I'm going to sing us out of here. Okay. I'm going to do it solo. Whew, that's going to be tough. And I just got one little sip from my Gaston cup here. Okay. Ready? Sing it on out. Close it out. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. MIC, see you real soon. KEY, why? Because we like you. We actually love you. MOUSE. Yes, poor Jeff has to sing along. But you know what? Someday I still have a little bit of COVID throat. I don't know what you want to call it, but I still feel like I'm a little congested, and I still haven't quite gotten all the, I'm just not quite cleared out yet. But tell you what, it's getting better every day, and it's good. It's all good. So once I get my voice back, I will solo this thing like you never heard before. Anyway, again, good night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for this special night. Remember, next week, we will be doing some giveaways. I don't know what exactly, but we will be doing some giveaways. We'll try and get some details out by the end of the week. It's going to be our 100th episode. Woohoo! 100 episode. Whew, that's crazy. So again, have a magical week, and we will see you then.